Hey everybody, welcome to My Usual Me and welcome back to Zombie Exodus Safe Haven. This is going to be chapter 3 in the story, and we are, this is day 2 for us, IRL, in real life. We are going to go ahead and continue with the story. If you're not familiar with the story, it is about the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, how you would interact with the situation around you, the things you might have, the person you might be, what you might do. What kind of person would you really be in the zombie apocalypse? Hey everybody, how you all doing? I see a bunch of new faces in here today that are talking, and a few regular ones as well. Hey Braden Reagan, how you doing? Robin Storsveen, D Rabbits, what's up? Lystrom, good to see you. Newt Canute, how you doing, buddy? E. Paul Anderson, what's up, Polly? How you doing? Apocalypse Man 98, Cloud Laser, Jim Dattilo, I'm gonna call you Jim Dattilo. Jim Dattilo, the creator of this work of art, and Amir Asri. How's everybody doing today? Hope you all are doing great. Let me pop out chat so it'd be a little bit easier for me to read you while I'm reading this, and then we'll get on with it. And also, stay tuned today because as soon as we finish this, I'll be moving directly into another live stream. We're going to do some more Elden Ring. I want to do that a little bit faster today than we did yesterday because I had like a 3-hour break for my voice. So we'll see how it goes. Let me just don't disappear on me if you want to hang on today. We might do both back to back. Let me see how it goes. Okay. Anyway. All right, so chapter 3. So if you guys don't remember, at the end of the last episode, we had brought in a blind old man named Lyle and his helper Jillian. I think her name was Jillian, pretty sure. And we let them spend the night in our house because it's a zombie apocalypse. They were out there. He was blind. They said their car broke down. I went ahead and decided to let them in, and then the chat went crazy and went, "Oh, stranger danger," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I have a feeling something might not be quite right, but we don't like too many spoilers here. So let's see what happens. You awake with a start, eyes wide and sucking in a deep breath. Sweat coats your skin, and though you remember no nightmares, something feels off and unsettling. As you notice the blinking face of a small alarm clock on your dresser, you realize the electricity must have gone out overnight. With the power fluctuating, life will become even more complicated. Rising from bed, you feel rested both mentally and physically. Still, a few more hours sleep wouldn't hurt. You walk toward the bathroom. As you move through the hallway, you see the guest bedroom door is still closed. You're instantly reminded of life's simple pleasures that you took for granted. The bathroom light flickers as you flip the switch, so you leave it off. At least with soap, you'll be able to clean up, wash off the dirt, and feel refreshed. It makes you feel a bit healthier. You get dressed and leave your room. You walk down the hall toward the bedroom where Lyle slept last night. Your room is empty, so you hurry to the bedroom at the end of the hall where Jillian slept last night. You knock on the door, and when no one answers, you open the door and find no one inside. The bedsheets lie tangled on the bed. Their bags and gear are gone, and no trace of them has been left behind. They just up and left in the middle of the night? That doesn't make sense. Hey, Tori, what's up? How you doing? Nikki, what's going on? Zeus, David Day, hey, how's it going? A quick check of the house shows no damage and no break-ins, though deep tracks are dug into your front lawn, and blood is spattered across the trunk of the closest spruce tree. As you breathe in the crisp air, your nose starts running, and you feel an itch in the back of your throat. Damn allergies. As you review your house, you notice your pile of gear looks smaller. You search the area around the pile and inventory all the items. You're missing some linens, a backpack, a flashlight, 10 painkillers, 2 blankets, 5 cigarettes, 2 bottles of alcohol, and half your food and water. Left in the pile sits a note in neat, flowing handwriting. Dearest Michael, Sorry we couldn't stay any longer, but we have other places to be and people to meet. We appreciate the hospitality. Had you been awake when we left, I'm sure we would have suggested you would have suggested we take a few things for the road. We helped ourselves. Thanks and good luck. Kindest regards, Jillian. I want to punch, blah, blah, blah. See, you know what? No good deed goes unpunished, ladies and gentlemen. No good deed goes unpunished. All right, you pull away from the pile and slam your hand against the wall. When that doesn't help quell the anger, you lift a chair and toss it across the room. Still the anger fumes, and you lash out and kick the desk and the couch and keep hammering until your instep hits a piece of hardwood and pain explodes in your foot. You move back from the couch and catch your breath. You walk into the kitchen and see the blinking 12 on the microwave clock, which confirms the power outage last night. Yank open the refrigerator door, and inside is dark and warm. Of course, with no electricity for part of the night, the refrigerator lost its coldness. As you look through the shelves and drawers, you smell some spoiled leftovers and do a quick count of what's left. 4 portions of food are still edible. Well, we're going to skip breakfast because I can survive for now without a meal because they took half my food. Despite your hunger, you have to conserve food in the event of the civilization is truly broken down and finding resources becomes challenging. You pour a glass of orange juice for breakfast, or with breakfast over, you walk into the living room to plan your day. You happen to check your laptop and notice the battery meter shows it's empty. With no power in your house, you have to find a way to charge it. All right, let's see our stats right quick, guys. I want to check this out real quick. Not stats. Wait. Well, yeah, I guess it would be stats. Let's look at inventory. Here we go. So, how much food do I have left now? I mean, I still have a fishing pole. That's not. Oh, and I put that that trap outside. Hope maybe I caught something. We'll see if that'll let me do that. Where's my food? Oh, here we go. Potion, only 4 portions of food. 18 water. Yeah. So wait, I fed them and they took half and I only have 4 portions left? That doesn't feel right. I don't know. Something's not right there. But okay, that's fine. All right. All right, we got to find a way to charge our laptop. So let's go ahead and check my trap right off the bat. Let's do that. You check your trap and find it contains a squirrel. Hey, you humanely kill the animal and reset the trap. Once killed, you cut out the internal organs, careful not to pierce them, and skin the hide. Carving away the meat, you acquire 5 portions of food. Okay, I'll take it. But 5 portions of food that's a big squirrel. That's a big squirrel. Okay, anyway. So now I'm up to 9 portions of food. Okay, let's fill up some more water bottles real quick. It's 8 a.m., so yeah, we'll do that. Having well water sure comes in handy when other parts of Nightfall are running dry. You spend a few minutes filling a dozen bottles of water. I must have a bunch of empty bottles. Let's see here. Oh, wait, what's this? Hang on a second. Oh. You check the time at 8:15 a.m. The phone rings, and you see it's Jamie's number. You answer. Hey, Michael, he says in a breathy voice like he just yawned. Hey, hello, you okay? Didn't get much sleep last night, so I just woke up. I stayed with those people I met, and we've been scavenging for supplies nonstop. They're not really my kind of people, though, so I'm going to split up with them as soon and come straight to you. Sounds good. One thing. Sorry, before I forget, I need to ask a favor. My cousin Moses is in Nightfall for a meeting, and he was attending, and when this mess happened, he's stranded, but he happens to be nearby. I told him to stay at your place for a few days. I hope you don't mind, but there's nowhere else for him to go. Hotels are booked or closed, shelters are overrun with people, and he should be there soon. I promise he'll be no trouble. Well, I owe you big time. I should be at your place late tonight. What do you need me to bring? Well, I could really use freaking food. Food! Since I can only pick one thing? Yeah, food. 100% food. I think. Yeah. Sure, no problem. I've got quite a bit of food I can bring. Also, I heard there's a store, Thelma's Convenience Store on Walnut. Yeah, you know the place. It still has food and other goods for sale, sometimes open in the afternoon. At least that's the rumor. Through the phone, you hear sudden loud voices, and the heavy strum of an automatic weapon. Jamie, is everything okay? Yeah, these fools I'm with are messing around with weapons, like we have time for target practice. I better go. Jamie says, his voice dropping at the end. I'm real sorry for not getting there sooner. You need me there, and I need to be with a real friend. So I'm gonna leave, and I'll be there. The line disconnects before Jamie finishes. Hang on 1 second here, guys. Hard time seeing your. Okay, so continue. A knock comes from the back door. Several quick knuckle raps. You slink from the sofa and tiptoe to the kitchen, cautious but curious. Pulling aside the curtains of the small window, you spot no one in the yard. Your eyes pan everywhere, up, down, and all around, but you see nothing out of the ordinary, and certainly nothing capable of knocking. Is no one there? Another knock comes, and though you question your sanity, you're positive the sound was real. Several options come to mind. Ignoring the knocks and walking away, peeking outside and waiting to spot the hand that knocks, or confronting whoever's out there. Hey, in there, you hear. Voice firm and friendly and female. I know you're by the door. I'd be terribly sad to walk away if we hadn't had a chat. You use the door open. Hello, Michael, a woman says. She stands with her back to the side of the house, hands tucked snugly in her front pockets of her skinny jeans. She's tall and lithe, but wears a baggy T-shirt with the logo of the Two Turtles Tavern, a bar in the area, and a Rocky's baseball cap. You see no weapons or gear and notice sandals on her feet. It's Rachel, Vince's cousin. You see no weapons. Oh wait, hang on. You haven't seen her in months, maybe a year. She comes to visit him ever so often, staying for weeks at a time, and often would greet you in passing. The relationship always remained neighborly, from collecting mail delivered to your house while you were on vacation to bringing over a tray of freshly cooked brownies. Once she jump-started a dead battery in your car. Hi, you said blankly. How can I help you? Most likely, okay, can I help you? Most likely, can I come in? Sure, come on in. Sorry, I just got screwed over. But I know this lady, so it's fine. Thanks, she says, and walks through the kitchen door as you step aside to let her in. She has a bit of an accent, maybe British. Oh, great, here we go. And she slaps and shuffles her sandals as she walks. She pulls her hat off, and light brown hair falls just above her shoulders, appearing sharply cut at the ends. She shakes it and folds it up in a bundle to place under the hat again, this time backwards. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do a British accent right now, guys. I apologize. But sorry to show up unannounced, she says, leaning against the stove, her bony hip almost turning on a burner. So how's Vince doing? Rachel tilts her head down to gaze at the floor. She stays this way for a moment, then looks up, her expression somber. Not sure. He left several weeks ago on an emergency business trip. He mentioned a matter of grave importance since he works for the CDC. I figured it was just some outbreak of meningitis or some such thing. Really, he was very hush-hush about his work. I now that I know about the Zeta virus, I can't but wonder if he was called away to deal with early cases. And he hasn't contacted you since? No, that's not unusual while he's on assignment. He stays incommunicado for long periods. I've come to stay with him for a month or so. Okay, I've come to stay with him for a month or so at a time every year since the early 2000s. This happens all the time. All right. Why are you visiting your cousin? Because he's my cousin, and I like visiting, Rachel says, raising her eyebrows and pursing her lips. It just seems strange that you visit him once a year or so for weeks at a time. Vince and I have always been close since we were kids, and I do enjoy taking a break from life back home. Truth is, I tend to need to escape and relax. My cousin's place is attractive because it's quiet and often empty, and Stodgy Farms has few enough people to provide me some degree of separation from the masses. When I'm here, I'm away from my normal hectic life, and while I'd assuredly be your bud if I lived here full time, when I do vacation with my cousin, I avoid contact. Given the circumstances, I wish we'd gotten to know each other far better. So why are you here to see me? We're a few days into the outbreak and you're coming over now? Rachel runs her hands along the edge of the sink stove and paces the kitchen. I thought Vince would be back by now, or at least made contact. I fear that he won't. If the virus isn't controlled within the next few days, hell, within the next 24 hours, our way of life will never be the same again. To survive, we'll need to rely upon others. Vince has always spoken highly of you, and it's time for us to plan for the future. He's spoken highly of me? He mentioned that you're a man who knows how to take care of himself, and we've even joked about how you'd be one of the ones to survive the apocalypse. I've seen how you handled your things so far, and I feel it's best to work with someone like you in the struggles ahead. I have a certain set of skills to offer too. Hearing this, you can't help but reply. Well, it's not, we cut your crap. Let's see. All right. Just to see what you can do for me. Let's see. I'm flattered you want to work with me. Rachel steeples her fingers together and narrows her eyes. I appreciate your humility, but don't sell yourself short. You're a rarity in such a world, and just finding someone who's capable of surviving is a godsend. Make no mistake, the days and months ahead will be trying in all manners, and we need to gather a strong group of people if we mean to survive. That's why I'm here, so we can get started. Rachel walks across the kitchen to the window and peeks through the curtains. The dead are rising fast, and we don't have much time. We're in a race now to find a few people to count on. Hopefully, we can start with each other. No, I didn't just meet her. I kind of know her anyway, so that's not it. Let's see. Okay, well, I don't. Yeah, I guess we'll go. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna. This is the closest thing because I would have reservations about trusting her, but there is strength in numbers. So, yeah, I want to believe you, but honestly, I have some reservations about trusting someone I just met, even though I already know her, kind of. Rachel smiles half-heartedly. Fair enough. I'd be suspicious too if I were you. I'm not too far away and realize trust is best earned through actions. I'll check in with you from time to time, and if you need anything, give me a ring as long as the cells work. She takes out a slip. My phone's dead. Oh, no, my laptop's dead. She takes out a slip of paper and places it on the kitchen table. You glance at the phone number. She walks back to the back kitchen door. Thanks for the chat, she says as she opens the door and steps outside into the yard. The sky above has a few fluffy clouds hanging with a backdrop powder hue. By the way, I have a few things I thought might be helpful. She steps to the side of your home where there lies a duffel bag. Oh. And she lifts it and hands it to you. Good luck, and give me a ring for anything. Rachel strides away across the yard and disappears behind the fence at the edge of your property. You close the door, heave the duffel bag over to the kitchen table, and unzip it. On top is a machete, long and sharp and heavy. You take inventory of the rest of the bag as you unpack it. A six-pack of bottled spring water, a few meals worth of non-perishable food, 10 units, a canteen, a flashlight, and a first aid kit. Okay. That's fair. You place the food and water in the cabinets and take the rest of the food to the inventory pile. All right. So it's 9 a.m. So it didn't really balance, but I mean, let's see, what do we got here? Let's check our gear right quick. So now I've got how much food? 19. Okay, so I'm kind of back where I was. Although it would have been nice to have more, but that's okay. That's okay. No, I'm finished checking my gear. I think we're good. All right, so you peer through the window and spot a man at the front door. He stands perfectly straight like he... man, what is up with everybody coming to my house, man? Anyway, he stands perfectly straight like he's at attention in a military formation, but he looks far from being fresh out of service. His hair is shaggy and unkempt. He wears a bushy, untrimmed beard, and his clothes are dull and faded blue button-down shirt and blue jeans with a braided leather belt and brass buckle of someone named Comet Joe. Slung over one shoulder, he's carrying a backpack, and he's holding a gym bag. The man leans forward, knocks, tilts his head to look through the narrow slivers of glass decorating your front door. You unlock and open the door, keeping your body braced against it with the security chain still latched. Hello? You say to the man, more a question than greeting. Are you Michael? I'm Woody, Jamie's cousin. Even at a short distance, the man has a strong body odor radiating from him. Whew. Yeah, but Jamie said his cousin Moses. Dang it, I told him not to call me that, Woody says. His cheeks flush with anger and he stomps his foot. Well, come in. Now you step aside and he walks in with a brisk, determined motion. Woody crosses farther into the room and scans from ceiling to floor, then left to right. Okay, I see. You got your supplies all in one location, some damage to your home, but you've got no real security to speak of. This place won't keep out a looter or the infected. All that said, I'm really glad to be here. Woody places his bags down by the sofa and takes out a wrapped sandwich from inside the gym bag. You want a bologna and pepper jack sandwich? No thanks. I don't know him well enough to risk taking food. It could be tampered with. Not to mention, look, food is going to be super rare anyway. Dude brought his own food. Let him eat his own food. I've got it. I just got some given to me. So I'm not going to, I wouldn't take a dude's food. And it was nice of him to offer, though. So, all right, suit yourself, Woody says, and takes a full corner bite of the sandwich, then turns it and shoves in the next corner. Me, I love meat. If I was a pig, I'd be a cannibal. All right, your new guest finishes his meal and sets out an intense belch, although it comes with an apology. Anyway, I appreciate you letting me in. I won't be any trouble if I won't be trouble, can fix things up, and keep it clean. Rabbits, I'm reading. I'm having a hard time. I'm not reading chat. But yeah, guys, there's no spoilers for anybody else, okay? Or I'm going to give Rabbits permission to time people out if you guys keep kicking spoilers. Not ban, time you out, because I believe in giving second chances. So, all right, so you check the time. It's 9:30 a.m. Let's see. You're going to ask Woody to repair and fortify my house. If he can do that, let's have him do it. Woody mentions he has knowledge of construction, so you figure it's time to put his skills to use. Woody, would you mind working on this place to secure it? Woody's eyebrows raised and he smiles. Would love to. Idle hands get stiff. Let's fix this baby up. He borrows some of your tools along with using a few of his own and starts by repairing the damage to your home. He repurposes wood from older areas of the house and uses nails and screws from his own supply in his backpack. Next, he evaluates all of the areas of your home where intruders might gain access, considering both the living and the dead. You got no real defenses here, so I'll board the place up, reinforce the doors, and cover the windows. He ponders the next hour, securing your home with existing supplies, and at the end of his project, the transformation is noticeable. It won't keep everyone out, but it's a start. You know, considering how much I've been doing, too, I mean, you'd think that this would be a freaking fortress by now. Let's go ahead and see. It's 10:30 a.m. Let's go ahead and do some gardening right quick. Should probably treat my wounds, but that's fine. You walk back into your yard and check the raised bed and trellis. While it's still too early for anything to grow, you notice you enjoy caring for the soil and working with your own two hands to build something that can last. All around the world is death, but in this small patch of land, there's life and potential for more and more life as the plants grow and produce vegetables and seeds. Then the cycle begins again, and that's how this small piece of soil it will seed will survive. As you water the area, you notice the first leaves of a flower buried just above the surface of the dark soil. Moving away the wet earth, you touch the petal and see it's an infant weed. It grew too soon? Oh, it grew too soon? Touching it and feel its leathery texture, almost gritty, and wonder what kind of weed grew over 2 days. You dig deeper and find the root, and reaching the tiny embedded stalk, you yank it out. It's long and barbed and slightly coiled, not like any weed you've seen before. Had you left it there, it would have grown and stolen the nutrients from the soil, starving your plants and ruining the garden. The weed, too, is life, but not the kind you want to grow. It only lives to consume and to reproduce, ruining all around it. You clear your hands of the dirt and walk back inside your home. All right, so let's go ahead and let me check my my stats right quick. 84%, mental health's 89, fatigue, stress. Okay, I think we're okay. I think we're all right. Let's treat my wounds. Since the outbreak started, you've suffered scrapes, bruises, and strains. Treating the wounds is just one step in surviving the ordeal. From your first aid kit, you take out alcohol pads and use them to clean your abrasions. Larger cuts will receive sterile gauze pads, while smaller ones take simple Band-Aids. Well, when all is done, you feel better and know your body will heal over time. Okay. Oh, it was a preemptive heads up? Okay, that's cool, rabbits. Thanks. Good looking out. Let's see. Let's go to the convenience store, I think. Or we can talk to Woody. Yeah, no, we'll go to the convenience store. That's fine. Money still holds value, and if you have any chance of buying goods, you'll need to try sooner than later. Before leaving, you consider your primary backup weapons, compound bow and the baseball bat, and keep those as my primary and my backup, because I already made arrows for that. So, as you prepare to leave, you wonder if Woody should join you. Before you have a chance to decide, he clears his throat and glances up from a book he's reading. Heading out? Yep. Good luck out there. Best if I stay put and watch the place. My feet are something terrible with the miles I've put on them the past few days. Mind if I shower while you're gone? I'm really starting to kick up some odor. He sniffs an armpit and scrunches his nose. You could certainly demand that he go with you, but you haven't known him long enough to argue. Also, he really does need a shower. That's fine, you say. Hey, what's your cell number in case I need to reach you? Woody tells you his number, and you plug it into your contacts. The closest store is in a strip mall down the road, Thelma's convenience store. Given it the short distance, you could walk or drive there. Driving takes gas and draws attention, but a vehicle provides a way to carry home most supplies. Yeah, we'll drive. Okay, that's right, because I had the coupe. I forgot about that. You pull the coupe away from your home and set out for the short drive to Thelma's. As you drive the road away from your house, several cars zoom past, speeding way above the limit. You stick close to the grass to allow the cars to pass. Most stores are closed. The corner bakery where you'd often buy coffee is empty and dark, secured behind a metal gate with a sign in the window, closed until further notice. While you stop to peek in the store, a truck screeches to a halt nearby, causing you to spin around. The driver leans out of the window, lays the shotgun over the hood, and points at a field 100 feet away. He fires God damn it. He fires, and a standing figure drops into the tall grass, a spray of blood leaving its chest as it falls. The driver turns to you and nods, gold tooth showing in his smile. Afternoon. Finally getting warmer, nice weather. As you try to think of a reply, you spot movement in the field again. The driver lifts his shotgun, pumps it, and fires again, this time hitting the head of the figure and sending bone and brain flying off in a small explosion. Damn crazies, the driver says and revs his engine of his truck. Well, have a good day and stay alive. The truck pulls away from the curb and speeds down the road. You hit the gas and drive faster toward the store. It's kind of how it'd be, too. You reach a strip mall and spot movement outside Thelma's convenience store. A crowd of customers are congregating in a loose line leading to the boarded storefront. Outside by the door, a tall man in a leather motorcycle jacket and shaved head, long red beard, and biker boots is holding an axe in one hand and a large revolver on his hip. As people progress in line to the door, he lets them in one by one as each customer leaves. At least a dozen people are standing outside, some carrying bags, some with weapons, some pleading or arguing with others in the crowd. Several in back shout curses or yell disapproval at the wait time for being admitted into the crowded store. You even hear a few people hollering about the extremely high prices in the store. You park the coupe at an open spot a few car lengths down from the store. Before you can reach the crowd, you spot an ATM. If the store has hiked up prices, you might need more money than you're carrying. Yeah, I'll stop to withdraw money. Not going to do me much good in about a week. You walk up to the kiosk and slip your bank card into the slot. The ATM screen glows with a bright blue screen. Welcome to the Bank of Thusa. Okay. Welcome, Michael Gray. Balance in U.S. dollars, $3,201. There's a maximum withdrawal limit of $2,500 per day. For large withdrawals, please visit a local branch. I'm going to withdraw the daily limit. Actually, no, we'll withdraw $1,000. That way, in case something happens, I still have $1,500 in there. If I can still do it. So pulling half my money's not bad. All right, withdrawing $1,000, new balance $2,201. As you step closer to Thelma's, a bouncer yells, "Back of the line!" You step into the last spot behind a bulky couple who you can barely see around. Forced to wait, you study your surroundings. On the opposite corner of the street sits a National Guard Jeep with 3 soldiers watching the area. A news helicopter soars far overhead, its rotors barely audible. A murmur comes from the crowd, and every so often gunfire sounds in the distance. 15 minutes pass, and in that time, 3 people have been allowed through the doors. Half a dozen more people are standing behind you. At this rate, you won't get in for at least a half hour or more. While you watch and wait, a woman passes the line, hands the bouncer at the door something too small for you to make out, and walks through the door. She bribed him, huh? I mean, yeah, I'll wait my turn. Because it's a fair thing to do. Now I don't want to risk losing my spot in line. Time drifts by as you stand in your spot and waiting your turn. The line creeps forward every 5 minutes. Unfortunately, you're standing in the sunlight. As the sun stares down from high in the sky, the heat forces you to drink a bottle of water in order to stay hydrated. Half an hour passes before you make it to the front of the line, and finally the bouncer lets you in. That's fine. Past the double doors, Thelma's convenience store has few customers amid the lightly stocked shelves and bare product displays. The store is longer than it is wide, with 4 main aisles marked fruit, vegetables, protein, drinks. Fruit, vegetables, protein, drinks, candy, cigarettes, cleaning products, and household goods, respectively. A central counter near the front is the sole checkout line, where a heavy-set woman bags goods and rings up sales for the waiting customers. Beside her stands a tall, wiry guard holding a shotgun and watching every movement through the line. A sign above the checkout area hangs in bold black spray-painted letters. Looters, thieves, and shoplifters will not be prosecuted. They will be shot. Positioned around the store in each corner are other towering guards armed with rifles and watching every angle of the mart. On the far right rests a butcher's counter where a slender woman carves up fresh meat, and behind her is a metal door leading to what you assume is a side alley. A chalkboard over the closed checkout line shows the prices of several items. Supplies are running out on popular items. All fruit, $55 each. All vegetables, $55 each. Chicken, $85 per package, which is 2 servings. Bottled water, $15 each. Alcohol, $250 per serving. Soap, $35 per bar. Batteries, $75 per package. And cigarettes, $400 per 5. Per 5 cigarettes? It's $125. Wait, that's got to be a pack, right? $125 per cigarette? No way. It's got to be a pack of smokes, dude. As you walk through the store, you No, I'm going to shop and pay. These guys have guns. All right. I'm no thief, but see, when you think about why you're paying for at the counter and not stealing, it's because, um, yeah, it's too risky without enough reward. Yeah, I mean, I'm not above. I wouldn't be above stealing, but I'd have to make sure I wouldn't get caught and shot in the face. Or beaten to a bloody pulp with not much medical. All right, so you grab a cart and move through the store aisle by aisle. Since you drove, you're not worried about carrying home bags and bags of groceries. All of it will fit in your coupe. Moving through the narrow rows of shelves, you run your hands over the goods, picking up some here and there to glance at labels and consider the marked up prices. Supply and demand is definitely well understood by the owners of the store. With the outbreak's limitation on food and goods distribution, it's no surprise that the prices of even the basics are overinflated. All right, I have $1,150. Let's see, herbs, fruit, vegetables, chicken, beef. Let's go with. We'll go with some aspirin. I can only do this one. Oh, hang on. Okay, yeah, I can only do it one at a time. All right, we'll do a bottle of aspirin. We'll buy 2. Let's see. I will buy. Dude. I guess I'll go 2 servings of chicken. Or maybe we'll do 4 servings of chicken because I've got another person in my house and another one on the way. So that's like 3 people. I assume he's gonna. Okay, that's $3.90. Bleach. Let's do bleach. Do 2 bleach. I will do 2 soap or 3 soap. We'll do 2 soap. Let's go ahead and go. How much? I got $6.40 in there. Let's go with toilet paper. Let's go 5 toilet paper. That's the most I can do. And let's go with duct tape. I'll do 2 duct tape. And water's not a problem for me, so. And we'll go with, I don't know what's up with the herbs. Let's do some coffee. We'll do 1 thing of coffee. And did I get batteries? I don't think I did batteries, did I? Let's do batteries. Do 2 batteries. And that's okay. That's about it. That's all I can afford. Wait, I can do some bottled water, soda, soap, toilet paper. Let's do some more toilet paper. I can do 1 thing of toilet paper. Let's do that. Boom. All right. With $10 to spare, there's nothing else I can buy. All right, let's go ahead and. Is it end shopping? Is that what it is? All right. Finally, finish shopping. You navigate the cart around the last aisle and push it to the checkout line. A tall, thin man in a sleeveless T-shirt with the logo for the Red Mamba Bike Club directs you forward. A short-barreled shotgun hung from a strap over his shoulder. You glance up and to the right, where a woman stands in a tower, aiming a scoped rifle at the checkout line. Your wait is short, and the young man in front of you pays for a roll of duct tape and a single banana and leaves the store. Next, please, and thanks for shopping at Thelma's. The checkout woman says, okay, and by her name tag, this must be the Thelma. She's middle-aged with red blonde hair and an angled nose like a cartoon witch, but with an inviting smile and a slight giggle to her speech. On her upper arm is a tattoo of a red snake and the letters RMBC. Oh, so these are her boys. I get it. These aren't just hired guns. This is a family. I understand. All right, so it's getting crazy outside. I'm glad you got to shop before we closed up, Thelma. Hits a button on her register. You empty your cart under the conveyor belt, and Thelma is quick to scan each item. Find everything you need? Yes, ma'am. I mean, I would say yes, ma'am, no matter what, so I answer respectfully. Um, Thelma giggles. Ma'am, I haven't been called ma'am in years, but I like it. You're polite. The register dings as it finishes the checkout. Thelma takes each item off the end of the conveyor belt and carefully stacks them according to size and weight, fitting them all into several large bags. Thelma squints at the small display on the register. Let's see. The damage is $1,140. Normally I don't do this, but I like the way you conduct yourself. I'm giving you a 5% discount. Your new total is $1,083. We only accept cash. You pay your bill and grab your bags to carry outside. You stride past the line of customers waiting to enter Thelma's. Even more people have shown up, and an extra bouncer stands by the door to keep some sense of order. Tension hangs in the air as the agitated people wait like coiled snakes ready to attack the store. The murmur of their voices a constant buzzing, their angry shouts an exclamation point. You hurry along the sidewalk to your coupe and place your shopping bags inside on the floor. As your coupe pulls away from the curb, you see a commotion from the crowd in front of the store, and as those waiting to go inside push closer to the door. Shouts of "Let us in!" mixed with curses and threats until a rock sails over the mob and strikes the wall just above the bouncer's head. He raises his shotgun and fires once into the air. From across the street, gunfire erupts from the National Guard station. You stop at the corner and watch as the pack of the undead trek down the avenue toward the noise from Thelma's. Bullets strike their diseased bodies, sending them into a dance of twitching and jerking as they stride forward. Headshots finally stop them, and they stumble to the ground, some still alive and crawling toward the guard post. With the way clear, you press the gas and drive down the avenue toward home. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised I didn't get like bum rushed by somebody. Hey, what's up going? Amy, how you doing? African Warlord, what's going on? Let's see if anybody else. Bam Smoa, how you doing? Dave Stanton, hi. Daniel, hello. And Jacob, I think that's all the new ones I see right now. Aditya Singh, how you doing? Thanks for coming in, guys. My eyeballs aren't working so well this morning, as you can tell probably from my reading. Anyway, all right, so arriving home, you walk up the front porch leading to the open door. As you climb the steps to your home, you listen for any sounds from inside, but you only hear the gusting wind blowing through your home and deep, heavy breathing. Standing just outside the doorway, there's a lot of choices here. I don't want to rush in because dude's probably got a gun. Let's see. Head around. No. Hey, is anyone there? I call out, I guess. You listen for a few moments through the open door. Several sounds return. Light hissing of wind, a rustle of curtains, then a soft growl. You lean in further, and your skin prickles at the last noise, a deep, repetitive murmur made from low in the throat. With no one answering your call, and no other sounds coming from the room, you walk through the open doorway. Your eyes adjust to the dark room, and you scan for any movement. You see no one preparing an ambush or aiming with a pistol or robbing your home. The only person you notice is Woody. He's on the couch, slumped in the seated position, hands and feet bound in ropes. Oh, great. And he's sleeping. Confident that all is clear, you cross the living room and kick Woody's foot to wake him. Woody! His eyes pop open. He snorts himself awake and stretches against the ropes. Oh, hey, you're back. It's been a while since those two broke in and tied me up. You survey the room. Some mud has been tracked inside and darkens your carpet. And, of course, the front door is damaged. Nothing appears broken or even out of place, although you see items missing from your inventory. It's only been a few days. Wait, hang on. It's only been a few days of this outbreak, and people are breaking in. Yeah, we're turning into zombies or losing our minds. Can you help me? Can you untie me now? This guy wasn't even helpful, dude. What's going on? As you lean over to check Woody's binds, a thought crosses your mind. What do you really know about Woody? You're usually not cynical, but it's hard not to be in the apocalypse. Could Woody have let people into your home and then concealed it by pretending to be tied up? Your gut tells you that Woody is telling the truth about being tied up, but you can't be sure. Well, Woody struggles to sit up. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna untie him. He's dude's cousin, but I've had something like this happen to me in real life. Not tied up, but somebody claiming to be one thing when there's something else. So yeah, he might have had something to do with the break-in. All right, you reach down to Woody's wrists and pull apart the tight knots while keeping watch for any sudden movements. His wrists are red where the twine rubbed the skin, and he squirms as you untie him. If he did have anything to do with the break-in, he handled it well by having his accomplices secure the ropes tighter than needed. Once his hands are free, he works on the ropes, binding his ankles. Thank you very much. I was losing feeling, he says as he rubs his legs. So what happened? Woody lifts a plastic container to his lips and drinks half the liquid inside. Once finished, he drags his arm across his face, drying his mouth on the shirt sleeve. I was upstairs preparing for a shower when I heard some tapping and scraping at the door. Then when I went to the window up there to look out, I saw two fellers at the door, a tall one with a real sweet, thick black and gray beard and a mean stare, and a real string bean that could be his son. As Woody describes them, and images of Sam and Peter Makarov pop into your head. Oh, really? I take it by your twitching that you know those two. Oh, okay. I take it by your twitching you know those two. Woody says as he sits back in the couch. Yeah, they're neighbors from down the street. I can't believe they're actually broke in. Woody takes a deep breath and nods. Sorry to say it, but they weren't here to hang curtains. They had a crowbar and tools, and the big feller had a rifle on his back. I ran downstairs and yelled through the door to tell him to leave. When they didn't go, I went to the front window and knocked on it to grab their attention. The skinny one laughed and pointed at me while the bearded one dug back in with the crowbar. Didn't take him long to force the door open. Woody points to a broken piece of wood hanging at the door jamb. While we were coming in, I threw my clothes back on and ran to grab a weapon. But they were too fast. Maybe if I wasn't half naked and downstairs, I could have stopped them. That tall one was quite the sprinter, legs like a cricket. Anyway, once the old man aimed his 30-06, I gave up. The tall one tied me up while the other one robbed you. How long ago did they leave? Woody squints his eyes and wrinkles his nose. Been a while now. They came in right after you left and worked fast like they had it planned out. I wouldn't have put it past them that they were been waiting on you to leave to make their move. Seems they were surprised I was here, but that didn't deter them from continuing. Did they say why they were robbing me? Tall one with the beard kept saying in Eastern European accent, I know he has lots of food and supplies, so no mystery there. All right, that's all the questions I've got for him. It doesn't matter if he tried to fight back, if he didn't seem like he's hurt, so it's fine. He's a grown man; he can handle it. I still can't believe they broke into my house. You look around the living room. Most of your goods and supplies are gathered near the dining room, and you still count through missing items. A few pillows are missing from my couch. Oh wait, no. You count through the missing items. Okay, that's weird. All of your bandages, all of your alcohol, 3 mechanical parts, a pack of batteries, and a throw rug are all gone. After your search of the inventory in your living room, you head to the kitchen. Cabinets are open, and several boxes and containers of food are turned over, empty or missing. The refrigerator door sits open, creating a low hum as it tries to remain cold. A quick check reveals a good portion of food has been taken. You close the door. Wait a minute. The refrigerator door sits open and creates a constant low hum as it tries to remain cold. I thought we lost electricity. Okay, anyway. A quick check reveals a good portion of the food has been taken. You close the door and the hum dies out. Now that you've checked, it appears 19 units of food have been taken, leaving you with 9 left. Luckily, you still have what you bought from Thelma's, and you add the items to your inventory. You squeeze your eyes shut as a sudden buildup of pressure sets into your temples. In the darkness, a vision of Sam and Peter Makarov swirls. They break through your door, pick through your home like it's a Walmart, shop for items at their leisure. How could they do this? You open your eyes and pace the room, feeling your anger rise like a wave. Are you going to let them get away with this? With stealing from you? No, I wouldn't. Especially after I got ripped off by that other couple. I would not do. I mean, they're my neighbors. I would go right across the street and probably end up. Well, it wouldn't be pretty. Returning to the living room, you see Woody standing by the door, staring at the damage done to the front door. He runs a hand along the frame and knocks on the areas of wood and brick. I can patch this up if you want, he says, turning to face you. The marks on his wrists have dulled to a lighter shade of red. I hid my bag behind the couch before those 2 thieves came in, and I could use my tools to fix this up. Yeah, that might help. Let me think about our next steps. Woody lifts his backpack from behind the couch and drops it onto the floor. Where do those fellers live, anyways? Just down the road on the opposite side. Just as the bend cuts sharp right and passes that huge unkempt field. Woody nods deep in thought. So what are you going to do about these neighbors? I don't know either of them from Kenny Rogers, but we need a plan. Woody says, slapping his leg and raising his voice. They took their liberties with your home, and although I'm not a man of violence, I respond to their unlawfulness. A response to their unlawfulness seems justified. Well, there's 2 of them and 2 of me, 2 of us, so. Wait, there's not an option to bring him with me? Hang on. Yeah, I'm going to go to their house and make sure they don't rob me again. A wide smile grows on Woody's face. Well, all right, I'm not one normally for such bravado, but these neighbors of yours, they need a comeuppance. Woody reaches deep into his bag and pulls out several long metal pieces, which you quickly identify as parts of a rifle. He fits the parts together and uses a screwdriver-shaped tool to fasten them. I had no idea you had a weapon. Woody keeps working at assembling the rifle. The weapon appears to be a Winchester Model 94, a common lever-action repeating rifle. Never came up casual. Before I showed up here, I made my way past a church that was handing out food and supplies, so I stopped off to refuel and helped them out for a few hours. On my way out, the preacher gave me this Winchester. I figured I'd break it down. People out in the world get jumpy around an armed redneck. So I guess you're going with me? Heck yeah. Like I said, those 2 fellers have to learn some manners. As Woody prepares his own weapon, you consider the weapons you're holding: a compound bow and a baseball bat. Hang on. No, I'll keep those. If he's got a rifle, I can use a baseball bat. It's fine. Ready to go? Oh, ready to go, Woody says, leaning the rifle over his shoulder. You leave your home, closing the door as best you can, given the damage. The sunlight shines bright, allowing you to see all the way down to the Makarov home. Although you see no infected in the vicinity, you strain to hear them in the air. The noises mix and swell, and you can't tell if the subtle warble is from zombies or the normal background sounds of the country. Along the main road, you creep along, hidden in the shadows. Already the homes of the area are showing signs of abandonment and disrepair. Lawns and fields grow untamed. Even the squawk, caw, and hum of the country wildlife have gone silent. As you approach the Makarov house, the sound of a zombie echoes and fades. You check the area and see no movement, but the noise was made not far away. The noise was made not far away. Pressing in, you draw closer to the home and see no signs of anyone inside and no lights. Other than the thick blankets covering the windows, Nothing seems to have changed. How do you want to do this? Woody asks, rubbing the sleeve of his shirt across the smudged barrel of the rifle. Check the perimeter for the house and for other access points. I'll break in and surprise them in order to gain the upper hand. Or you know what? I'll tell Woody to break in the door so I can follow him in. Here's a plan. You say and draw your compound bow for the imminent attack. Woody, you go in first, bust in the door, and we'll attack. Drop anything that moves. You ready? Hold on a sec, he says, waving his hands. Going all gangbusters might get us shot up. That old man knew his way around a rifle, and they have the advantage, it being their home and all. Look, they broke into my house, stole my food and other stuff. Hell, they tied you up, Woody. We're gonna get my stuff back, and if they refuse, we fight. And if you don't want to do it, fine. Go back to my house, get your stuff, and go. I guess we're doing this. Woody turns his rifle to point at the house. Let's go. You order and dash to the front porch of the Makarov home. As you run, the long call of an infected sounds like a trumpet marching you into battle. Before you can react to the howl, Woody slams into the door, which flips in all too easily, and you follow him inside. Your eyes adjust to the dark interior and scan for targets, but you see no one. The living room is sparse with the furniture pushed to one side, and otherwise it appears empty. Closets are open and bare, bookshelves barren, and no other personal items lie about. Everything you'd expect inside a home is missing. Oh, great. Either someone looted the looters or they skedaddled. Shoot, man. After a thorough search of the property, you find nothing of value. Not a crust of bread, an ounce of soap, not a single scrap of paper. The beds are stripped to the mattress, and the drawers have been emptied of clothes, and the kitchen cupboards have been cleared. You do find a container of something green and moldy in the back of the refrigerator, which Woody insists upon smelling, only to dry heave a moment later. With nothing gained from the excursion, you leave the Makarov home. A heavy breeze flows outside, blowing bits of hay and cut grass across the field. The sounds of animals in the distance have replaced those of the infected, at least for now, and the smell of dung tells you horses have come by this way. As you walk, you spot a woman on the hood of a silver hybrid now parked directly outside the Makarovs. You recognize her as Kelly Klein, the reporter. You've seen her entertainment segment on the nightly news, and she visits hipster nightclubs, or when she visits hipster nightclubs or interviews the local indie band. She smiles as you draw near. A wisp of her jet black hair blows in her face. I'm Kelly Klein, Prime News at 5, she says to Woody. Her pale skin and dark painted red lips give her an almost vampiric appearance. And she wears a tank top with the logo of the band, the Centennial. Her arms are sleeved in tattoos, from cartoon figures to traditional Japanese. Her wrists are red and chafed, just like Woody's. Name's Woody. It's a pleasure, ma'am. You a Native American? My mother's side is part Cherokee. Why? She asked in an annoyed tone. I'm a student of all things related to the culture of your mother's people. You shoot a glance at Woody. Are we really discussing this now? Not the time or place, he says, then stares at the ground. What are you doing out here? The Makarovs broke into my house and robbed me. She says. Her face contorted into a scowl. I was in my bedroom early this morning, and I heard some noise in the living room. I threw on clothes, grabbed my gun, and spotted Sam Makarov dangling in my refrigerator like he had an invitation. I aimed my pistol at him, and this sleazeball son put a rifle to the back of my head. They tied me up and went through my house and took all kinds of things I needed to survive. And the younger one, he kept staring at me in a strange way. I got the impression that if Sam wasn't there, Peter would have hurt me or something. She slams her hand onto the hood of her car and sighs in frustration. They must have targeted me for accusing Peter of being infected. They robbed my house too, but I doubt it had anything to do with the mob outside their house. You're probably right. I was wrong about Peter being infected, but I knew something shady was up with that kid. And when I got out out of the twine they used to tie me up, I came here to confront them. They're gone, house empty like moving day. I mean, bedding was gone, sofa cushions, picture frames. Only those blankets on the windows remain, and the truck is gone too. Pathetic. They robbed us and took off with all of our possessions and ours, or all of their possessions and ours as well. I don't know what I'm going to do, Kelly says. She scratches her chafed wrist with long black fingernails. They took my food, gear I was collecting if I needed to leave town, my money. They didn't even just break the lock on my front door. They stripped it off. And all I could do is to keep it closed was prop a speaker against it. I mean, man, you know, dude. Okay, I don't have anything to offer, Kelly, but if we work together, we can survive. That's the best I can do. I can work with her, but... Well, Kelly starts, and then she looks skyward. I'm heading out of town. I got in touch with my cousin at my monument, and he says I can stay with him. And with that, you part ways with Kelly and start on the way home without a feeling of satisfaction nor a true end to the episode in a day in the life of surviving the apocalypse. As you walk, you pass a home on your right and spot a figure pressed against a window. Sunlight illuminates the outline of a man. The face of Tommy Monroe stares back at you, or he would have if he had eyes. Instead, two black sockets take their place, sitting in a sea of yellowish, pocked and lacerated flesh. His blonde-tipped hair had streaks of wet crimson, and part of his right shoulder is missing, the edges shredded. His head is tilted up as if to gaze at the sky, thinking whatever thoughts cloud a zombie's brain. As you pass, the mouth opens and snaps shut like a piranha sensing food nearby. The door of his home lies open, and from the pungent odor of refuse and decay lingers in the air. Staring inside, you see no one else, and the place is in shambles, furniture tossed and broken, walls marked with blood and other stains, and lying before the kitchen is the carcass of a small animal. Seeing Tommy in the open house, you... Well, I mean, I'm not gonna. It's not a mercy killing. I mean, I kill him so I can scavenge his house. Yep. We should scavenge this place, you say, and climb the front steps to enter the house, the home. What about him? Woody asks as he follows you to the open doorway. I'll take care of it, you say, and you move to the entrance. Woody taps your arm. You hesitate and glance over your shoulder, and he mouths the words, "Be careful." Tommy stands by the window, his face still pressed to the glass, and you can see now that both of his legs are broken with shards of bone forking through the flesh, forcing him to remain in place. A low growl drifts from his mouth, not angry or feral, but more of a hum of discontent, like he knows he's trapped. His long fingers run along the pane, leaving faint traces of a pinkish substance, maybe blood and sweat. Much of the room is in discord, with a sectional couch pushed in one clump along a far wall and a big TV cracked and lying on top of the pile. A display case is tipped over, and from it have spilled dozens of porcelain figures of clowns and cats and angels. The oriental rug has blotches where some fluid has dropped and dried over hours, and now its putrid smell permeates. By the kitchen, the body of a small dog lies on the floor, its back snapped and fur peeled away over its head to reveal the remains of its brain, although most of the organ is missing. The dining room table is toppled with several legs cracked, and a large empty chest is turned on its side, the lock broken. Pictures framed and hanging on the walls show Tommy or his mother, Janice, who you know from the neighborhood but seldom see. A spiritual woman with numerous phobias, she avoids going out in public or socializing. As you move closer to Tommy, his ears cocked up, he rotates his torso to the sound of your movement. His arms reach out, fingers curling to grasp, almost pleading, and you waste no time in ending what's left of his life. Let's spread out and search the place. I'll take the upstairs, you say, and start up the staircase. In the first room of the In the first room off the staircase, you see a well-made bed, several dressers with the drawers pulled out and clothes lying on the floor, and closets flung open with more clothes on the floor. A small lockbox is open and lying on the floor. Its contents spilled open, a social security card, driver's license, and baptismal certificate, all for Janice Monroe. Searching for supplies, you find a lighter and a clean blanket, and you add them to your inventory. From a rusty broken transistor radio, you extract 3 electrical parts. You enter another bedroom, this one Tommy's, and it's torn apart even more, with the beds tossed, linen shredded, and dresser broken. Although the mirror on the wall is cracked, half of a photo hangs in its frame of Tommy in a tuxedo standing outside the Chipper Ridge High School gymnasium under an arch reading 2007, Night 2. The terror cuts off the rest of the words. As you turn to leave, your foot kicks an unopened package of batteries, which you take. Realizing there must be more to find here, you spend extra time searching the room and locate a cigarette pack with 5 cigarettes remaining. The bathroom is the last room, and a quick search reveals a full bottle of shampoo and a roll of toilet paper, but nothing else. Returning to the first floor, you see Tommy's body lying upon the floor. A thin sheet covers the corpse, and already a few spots of blood have seeped through the material. Woody lays a similar sheet over the carcass of the dog. I checked the room. I checked the living room. Somebody went through this place with a fine-tooth comb. Basement 2 and the den. I'll check the kitchen, you say as you step over the dog's body. Trash litters the floor from an overturned garbage can, mostly old newspapers and store circulars. The cupboards are open and bare, and the refrigerator holds only a few jars of condiments and several containers of spoiled food. You take what's edible. Checking under the sink, you see no cleaners or detergents, but tucked far under the garbage disposal is a small plastic bag with 3 canned goods and a soda. The back screen door swings open in the breeze, and you notice 2 parallel red streaks a foot or so apart on the floor leading out of the kitchen to the yard. Pushing the door out, you follow the tracks out to the clearing behind the home. The streaks continue on the cement until they reach the dense grass field. Looks like someone got dragged out, Woody said, scratching his beard. With the tracks ending and the home searched, there's little more to do here, so you circle back to the front of the house. Our work here is done. Let's go. You take the lead for the short distance back to your house, thankful to see the door intact with no signs of a break-in. All right. My eyes, guys, are just not wanting to work today. All right. You check the time, 4 p.m. Phone rings. Your smartphone rings, and you answer without hesitation. Okay. Michael. A hurried voice before you have a chance to say the word. Michael, it's me. I need help. You recognize Jamie's voice, although he sounds out of breath, and a series of harsh, shrill screams fill the background. What's wrong? I can barely hear you. Through the line, a door slams, and you hear a rushing wind and the squawking of birds. Listen, Michael, Jamie says, huffing with deep breaths. I made it to the roof. I'm safe for now. I was only a mile or so from your house, but they came up on me. They shot at me, clipping my shoulder, and I made it back to the high school. You know the one, Chipper Ridge High? Problem is, I don't know how I'm getting off the roof. Zombies are all over the place. They changed me until I climbed a work ladder on the 4th floor. 4th floor? That's a huge high school. I got some food and water, but I'm not sure how long it'll last. Plus, I can see the parking lot from here, and their Jeep is still there. I wouldn't ask if I knew another way. Who's chasing you? What's going on? Dylan and his group. I should have never... I can't explain now. Please, you gotta help me. I'm on the way, Jamie. Stay on the roof. I'll be there as soon as possible. Thanks, Michael. He says, and in the background, the sounds of close gunfire ring out. The call ends, and you know what needs to be done. All right. Woody is me without the body stink? What? What? Hey, look, man. I'm reading dialogue here, man. I'm not making things up like it's a D&D. You know what? Voices are coming a little bit harder to me than normal. All right? Okay? You step to your pile of gear and separate those items you need for the job. You shove gear into your duffel bag and leave the room for any new items you might find while rescuing Jamie. Woody comes in from the kitchen, his face showing concern as he watches you moving hurriedly around the room. What's up? I heard you talking. It's Jamie. He's in trouble, trapped on the roof of Chipper Ridge High School. I don't know the details, but people were chasing him, and he's stuck on the roof. I need to go get him. I need to get him. Woody strides to the couch and reaches behind it for his backpack. He takes out his rifle and straps it to his back, a look of focus on his face. You take one last look around for any gear you're forgetting and hope that you won't be gone for too long. The longer you're away, the greater chance that someone tries to break in. With all preparations made, you've considered the weapons you're holding, compound bow and baseball bat. I think we might want to change that. No, that's fine. Because if I'm only allowed 2 weapons. So I do have the sniper rifle, and the bolt action rifle, but that's going to make noise. Compound bow's silent. Baseball bat's close up. If I'm only allowed 2 weapons, I need one that's close and one that's far away. So those are my best 2 for stealth, really. And besides, homie's got his gun too, so it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. You leave your house, locking it securely, and start your journey toward Clipper Ridge High. Clouds blanket the sky in one perfect gray sheet, and the wind has calmed. A crack of gunfire splits the air in the distance. Woody balances his rifle over his shoulder and glances toward the horizon. Dirt covers a large stretch of the field by your house, and thick black tire tracks make a zigzag over your driveway. Riding to your destination will be faster and less of an effort, but will also raise your visibility. Now, we'll drive. Yeah, we'll drive. You head outside and select the vehicle to drive. It's a 2-door coupe. Let's go. Hang on, I'll give you 1 second, guys. All right. You and Woody settle into the coupe, and you pull out of your driveway and pull around a burned-out delivery truck. You slow down long enough to see the supplies have been looted clean. Further along the road, you steer around a knocked-over tree, behind which the half-torn body of a disfigured corpse sticks out from the massive trunk. A state trooper van passes the intersection, and mounted loudspeakers play a recorded message. The city has instituted a mandatory quarantine. Return to your homes and stay locked inside until further details. You drive on, sticking to the side streets. Human and infected carcasses lie everywhere, filling the country like a vast open cemetery. As your coupe rolls onto the main highway, you smell an overwhelming acrid charcoal odor and soon pass an enormous pile of burning corpses, flames still poking from the top. Several figures in hazmat suits hold lit metal pipes over the bodies, and a garbage truck, like the ones you saw coasting past your home, empties its cargo of infected dead. You speed past the bonfire, covering your face with your arm, and it soon disappears as you circle the next bend in the road. The highway opens to multiple lanes, but now resembles an immense junkyard of abandoned and wrecked vehicles. You advance through the maze of metal, moving slowly enough to avoid collision while keeping enough speed to make progress toward the school. Every 100 feet or so, you spot a figure wandering around the cars. You maintain your course, knowing Jamie needs you. Reaching the off-ramp of the exit closest to the school, you pick up speed on the clear road. Movement in the side street draws your attention, and you make a sharp left to avoid collision. Tires screech, and a heavy roar of a motor shocks your eardrums. A black Jeep-like vehicle misses your front fender by an inch, and through the other car's glass, you spot an older man in a green helmet driving, and a massive man in the back seat holding a shotgun. With little room left on the ramp, you veer onto the city street. You pick up speed, and the Humvee pulls beside your coupe. The side window rolls down, and the large man pokes the barrel of his 12-gauge out. As he turns his head, you spot a tattoo of a demon's head on the side of his face from eye to chin. "Pull over!" he yells, and the Humvee swings in closer, almost touching the side of your vehicle. Great. Numerous cars lie across the road, and hunks of debris from broken vehicles litter the path. Chipper Ridge High School stands only a few blocks away, and with the number of obstacles in the road, you might be able to outmaneuver the bandits and escape. You could fire at the bandits, hopefully scaring them off. You could also try to ram their vehicle and force them off the road, allowing you to drive away. Tattoo face in the back seat leans through the window, points a shotgun at your coupe's rear tire, and fires. The Humvee twists around an open manhole cover, causing the shotgun to miss, and you quickly decide to, dude, I'm driving a coupe and they have a Humvee. You think I'm going to be able to drive them off the road? Let's see if we can lose these bandits. You step on the gas and push the Humvee, push the coupe around a tipped-over sports car, swerving just past the bumper. The Humvee clips the edge of the downed car and sends it spinning like a top until it crunches over the side of an auto repair shop. You hear the crack of glass and thump of metal on metal, and from your rearview mirror, you spot bullet holes poking through the side panel of your coupe. "If you hold steady, I'll get a shot," Woody says as he extends his barrel of his rifle through the side window. Your coupe lurches forward and zigzags through metal debris and a downed traffic light. The Humvee flies forward, ramming you from behind, and the jolt has you struggling to maintain your control of your own vehicle. Your hands grip the wheel and hold it straight. Another blast from the shotgun sends glass over the back seat. You hear the quick pop of Woody's rifle, and the Humvee eases back a car length. Hit the windshield. The driver looks spooked." Woody centers his rifle again and aims down the long barrel. You scan the area and spot a sharp turn in the next cross street. This might be your chance to escape. You pick up speed, but the Humvee catches up, hitting your bumper and sending your coupe into the side of a dumpster. Sparks fly as it hits metal, but you manage to straighten out and keep control. You reach the corner of the narrow side street and twist the coupe in a wide arc around a police barricade. You cut the wheel in the opposite direction and fishtail around a parked car, hitting the gas at the end of the turn and speeding into the side street. The Humvee plows into the wooden barricade, wheels squealing and smoke rising as the brakes lock. Wood flips around the front end and a thick shard cracks through the windshield. The oversized vehicle tries to match your turn, but smashes into a parked car, driving the wood shard deeper through the cracked glass. Smoke rises from the hood, and the Humvee comes to a stop. "That's some fancy driving," Woody says, staring back at the erect Humvee. "Real NASCAR stuff there." You ride to the end of the narrow street and turn onto the main road leading to Chipper Ridge High School. Holy mackerel, man. Okay. Anyway, I need some coffee. Okay, let's go. You pull your coupe through the iron gates into the Chipper Ridge High School parking lot, and then pull up and park a fair distance. Oh my gosh, hang on. Try this again. Hang on, make sure you guys can hear me. All right, I had to mute for a second. You pull your coupe through the iron gates of the Chipper Ridge High School parking lot, then park a far distance from the main school building to avoid being spotted by any bandits or zombies near the entrance. A few figures stagger around random parts of the lot, their motion indicative of the living dead. On the far left side of the building, a crowd of undead wanders along the basketball court. The air carries their tragic moans, and the winds howl in gusts that blow trash and dead leaves across your path. A floodlight shines over the front entrance, illuminating the school's logo and an image of Chester the Chipper Ridge Beaver. Okay. With the lights turned on, the power must still be running in... Okay. With the lights turned on, the power must still be running in the old building. A Jeep sits just outside the border of light, and a man stands in the back, leaning on a mounted machine gun. Oh, great. "This is a mess out here. More dead than I expected," Woody said, his eyes locked upon the crowd in the basketball court. "Sure, I expected some, but things have gotten far worse. And if this number predicts what's inside, we're going to have a heck of a time getting Jamie out." You move closer to the front entrance, keeping low behind bushes and parked cars and using trees to block you from sight. From 100 feet away, you can see several dead bodies lying near the Jeep, their heads bashed apart, small pools of blood staining the concrete. The gunner takes puff from a cigar and watches the parking lot, freehand tapping the metal head of the massive gun. To get Jamie, you need to enter the building, but if you get close to the entrance, the gunner will certainly spot you. You quickly consider your options. You could forget this entrance and find another way inside. Of course, the more you search, the greater the risk of crossing paths with a zombie. You could cause a distraction in the parking lot and draw the gunner away, sneaking into the entrance once he's gone. Finally, there's always the option to deal with him yourself. I mean, we could ask Woody what he thinks we should do. Let's move in close for a melee attack. Now we'll ask Woody what we think we should do. What do you any ideas on how to get inside? You ask, keeping a low watch in the front of the school. Woody makes a grunt and bites the corner of his lip while he considers the question. That feller looks like he can out-wrestle a bear, so going at him ain't going to be too bright. That machine gun will probably tear us all up if we get too close. Maybe we create a diversion and redirect his attention elsewhere as we can slip in behind him. Still, it's our best chance. After listening to Woody, you decide to cause a distraction in the parking lot and sneak in while the gunner's gone. Yeah. Your priority is getting into that building and rescuing Jamie. This guy outside is just an obstacle to your goal, and once he's distracted, you could sneak in. With so many cars in the parking lot, making a distraction is a simple matter. You find a baseball-sized rock on the ground, wind up, and toss it at the most modern car you can spot on your left, hoping it has an alarm. The rock hits the ground a few feet in front of a foreign-made car. You lift another rock, put more strength into the throw, and this one hits the top of the car tire and bounces off. Your next throw finally hits the hood. The horn blares and lights flash repeatedly. The gunner perks up at the noise, and his gaze turns to the foreign car. He puts out his cigar on the metal of the machine gun and swings it around to the noise. Across the lot, the undead turn in unison to face the car, and they gather in one pack to stride across the basketball court. You keep low and rush to a waist-high stone wall, using it to keep out of the direct line of the sight of the gunner. The gunner spins the machine gun toward the zombies and grips the handle. In the shadows, his features are hidden, but his muscles tense, and he slides a foot backwards to brace himself. A belt of ammunition hangs from the gun's underbelly, and the barrel lights up as the barrel lights up as the living dead pick up speed. The weapon erupts in a heavy racket of gunfire. Empty shells pour from the gun, and the smoke rises in short wisps. The first line of zombies fall as the bullets hit, their bodies shocked by the brutal impact of the high-velocity rounds. Blood plumes over the running mob in a mist. Should we go? Woody asks, his body leaning forward and legs positioning like a sprinter in the starting line. Let's go. With the gunman distracted, you break away from the wall and race toward the building. Sticking to the perimeter line with shrubs and blooming flowers, you keep to the gunner's back as he fires, his machine gun lying waste to the advancing undead, now in full sprint across the parking lot. You hit the long rows of steps outside the school's entrance and slow your approach to creep behind the Jeep. One false move, one loud sound, and that smoking barrel will be aimed at you. Okay. As the zombie horde thins from the flurry of machine gun fire, you step across the stone steps of Chipper Ridge High School. The deafening sound of the gunner's weapon hurts your ears. Gray smoke seeps from the back of the gun, and you smell the burning gunpowder as you climb the stone steps to the school's entrance. The gunner keeps firing at the horde and doesn't react to you opening the door to the school. Woody steps through the doorway into the dark and dank interior, and you ease the door shut and lock it. The screams of the zombies and rattle of the machine gun dull as you enter Chipper Ridge High School. Okay. The school lobby shows the true impact of the apocalypse, as the dead canvass the building's ground floor lobby like a field of war after battle. The bodies of teenagers, easily several dozen, lie scattered across the tile floor. Dry blood coats most of the floor in a muck. Ripped banners for a school-wide fundraiser cover several of the dead, and hundreds of bullet casings litter the entrance. On the far corner at the double doors of an office, the charred remains of burnt bodies sit in a pile, some still smoldering. You cover your nose at the awful stench of the rotting and the refuse. Woody paces along the wall, hands on his hips, unable to look at the side of the lobby. As you stand at the front of the lobby, one pile of corpses shift, and you quickly move to the far wall where a path through the dead bodies toward a side hallway. Past the doors, the hall is silent and empty, and you stop for a moment to collect your thoughts. On the wall hangs a map of the school. The building has 3 wings, with the north and east ones ascending 8 to 10 stories. God, that's a big high school. Jamie said he's on the 4th floor roof, which means he's in the west wing. You locate 3 maintenance closets along the perimeter and figure Jamie could have climbed any of them. There's no direct path to the roof, but there are multiple routes through the school. You might even have opportunities to search for useful gear to help rescue Jamie and to survive in this damn apocalypse. Between zombies and the bandits, you'll certainly face a confrontation at some point. The real question is, what's the best way to reach him? Shortest path between 2 points, man. The map shows one path leading up the southwestern stairwell past the cafeteria on the 2nd floor. Since the outbreak occurred a day ago, there will be food left in the kitchen, and you could stop there and scavenge. You imagine the cafeteria is to be well populated, so there's a high chance of zombies in that area. Instead, you could travel through the library on the northwestern end of the school. Starting on the 1st floor, the library actually consists of 2 floors, meaning you could avoid the stairwell. From what you know of libraries, they have fewer people than cafeterias. However, they're typically packed with rows of bookcases and furniture. Masking it through the area could be tricky. Plus, zombies could be hiding at any turn. I mean, if we have to pick one of the two, and I can't, and there's no third option, I guess I'm going to go through the cafeteria. There might be more people, but yeah, the food thing. Let's do that. You enter the west wing stairwell and find an empty, drafty corridor leading up to the 2nd floor. The stone walls cause your footsteps to echo, and you cringe at every little sound you make. The lack of air makes the area stifling, and the floodlights cast an eerie glow upon the concrete walls, which are spotted with blood and graffiti. Loose papers, books, and other classroom materials litter the stairwell, and you spot a solitary sneaker and broken pieces of wood scattered about. The stairwell ends at a pair of double doors. Exiting the doors to the 2nd floor, you step into an open hallway leading into the cafeteria. A murmur of the risen dead plays like background music. A long smear of blood stretches across the tile floor like an arrow pointing the way. You press your back against to the wall and peek around a corner into the main lunchroom. A dozen or so zombies roam the area, all listless in their walk, bumping into one another, knocking over trays, stepping over spilled food on the floor. You expected more students in the cafeteria, but even those dozen present a real threat. You turn away from the lunchroom and squeeze your eyes shut for a split second. Woody peeks around the wall as well, then quickly pulls away. He squints his eyes shut and drapes his arm over his head as if we're in pain. From what you remember of the wall map of the West Wing, you have no choice but to head through the cafeteria to the next stairwell. You look back to the room. 13 zombies stand in your way, far too many to fight at once. Mentally, you draw a path to sneak around them, using a variety of vending machines, carts, and other objects to block you from sight. It won't be easy, but if you take your time and keep your eyes open, it's possible. On your right, across the entrance to the cafeteria, there is another set of steel double doors, slightly ajar. You walk over, peer inside the large storage area with several long folding tables stacked side by side. A fire alarm hangs on the wall of the room, it might be possible to draw the zombies inside of the storage room and lock them up. As you turn to leave, you spot a high vent above the door. Could you climb through the ventilation system and bypass the entire cafeteria? It's likely safer, but if something unexpected happens or a zombie somehow found its way up there, you'd have few options to escape. I mean, come on, man. What is the likelihood of a zombie being... I mean, I guess unless somebody died in there, I guess. They crawled up in there while they were alive and they died. Let's create a noise at the back of the cafeteria to draw the zombies away from the kitchen. That's the safest thing. You turn to Woody. We're going to draw the zombies out and lock them in the storage room. Sounds real risky, but if you think that's best, then let's get to it. You find a small closet outside of the cafeteria, a perfect place to hide. When open, the doorway faces the door to the large storage room, providing a clear view of the zombie parade you have planned. The plan requires setting off that fire alarm in the storage room, and you'll have seconds to run back to the closet and close the door without being spotted by any zombies. You know, I'm going to stop right there. Hang on. Except for the fact that the alarm will alert the bandits. But, okay, whatever. I didn't think about that. All right, you cross the outer hallway and enter the storage closet, playing out the next part of this plan in your mind. It's only a short run to the closet, you say out loud and reminding yourself of the obvious. You place your hand on the red switch of the fire alarm, lean away, and with a quick, deep breath, yank it down. Not waiting for the sound, you burst from the storage closet, and the ringing of the fire alarm explodes through the hallway a second later. Fevered growls erupt from the cafeteria. Short, rapid chimes of the alarm bell repeat under the sweeping clang of the buzzers. The closet door sits halfway open, only a few steps away, and you race across the floor to reach it. You turn and slide through the opening as you spot the first zombie rushing from the cafeteria. You close the door and hold the handle. As the zombies pound through the hallway, their mad howls escape, eclipsing the fire alarm. You expect the closet door to burst in at any moment. You grip the door handle tighter until your fingers throb. The closet door shakes. Sweat drips into your eyes. You press your ear to the door. The cries get closer and closer, and their numbers seem never ending. But suddenly, their noise drops from below the alarm, and you crack the door open to peek outside. No zombies remain in the hallway. You rush from the closet and grab the storage room door, slamming it shut. You catch sight of the writhing mass of student zombies as the door closes, and you twist the lock. These metal doors will only hold them for a short time. Let's go, you call in a hushed voice. Woody leaves the closet and follows as you cross the short hall. The cafeteria is in shambles but appears zombie-free. Still, you waste no time in crossing the long room. As you pass the kitchen, you make a quick stop in search for food and gear. Neon lights bathe the room in orange, and cold air blows out an enormous walk-in freezer, apparently left open. You step inside and find a cache of food still chilled. You spend a few minutes packing up provisions to take. Personal food 18, personal water 32. Oh, here we go. You can take 6 more items. Got it. So, well, we'll take 3 units of food. Oh, well, that's considered, okay, that's considered 1 item. 3 units of food is? Okay. Do I have cookware? I have cookware. I have portable cookware. That's fine. No, food. It's just going to go with food. I would do candy bars maybe for trade. Food again. We're going to have a lot of people to deal with here. I already have a fire starter. One more item. We're going to go food. All the way. Yeah, okay. You take the food and add it to your personal inventory. Leaving the kitchen, you run the rest of the length to the cafeteria and find the stairwell on the 2nd floor. Stepping out of the stairwell, you take a quick look through the hallway, and other than a few bodies lying on the floor, the area seems clear. Hey, I need to take a pit stop, Woody says, pointing to the boys' room sign. My stomach is killing me. Might be the smell or just the sight of all this. Give me a few. I'll be as fast as I can. As you wait for Woody, you consider how to spend your time. I mean, if I have to choose between the shop class and the nurse's office, we're going to the nurse's office. I need meds. You run through the hallway and stop outside of the nurse's office, listening for any movement, moaning, or other telltale signs of the infected. Hearing nothing, you peek inside and see no zombies in the main room. Taking slow, careful steps, you enter the room. The room is splattered with blood and human waste. Glass cases are smashed and the main desk is overturned. A first aid kit lies on the floor and several medical supplies are scattered around the room. A shadow falls upon the floor next to you. Spinning, you raise your compound bow and prepare to attack. Dark blood coats an exam door's upper window, and a pair of mangled hands claw at the surface. You leap back as the door rattles. You watch and wait, ready to fight or flee should the zombie escape. For all the pounding on the door, it remains locked. The zombie on the other end has no way to reach you, though its presence makes you uneasy. Feeling safe enough to stay, you search the room for supplies. Behind the desk, you spot a broken glass cabinet, but several items remain. A tube of antiseptic ointment, bandages, and a bottle of painkillers. Under the desk is a splint to stabilize a broken leg or arm, and on top of the desk lies a pair of glasses and a box of bandages. In the corner of the room is a sink, and you turn on the faucet and are surprised the water's still flowing. You leave no space unchecked, searching through every inch of the office. Your effort pays off when you find a small metal case under a pile of broken wood. Inside is a bottle of antibiotics and numerous vials of insulin. With the room searched, you separate the items you wish to take. Hey, look at that. We got 33 food and 32 water now. That's really good. I mean, antibiotics are number one. 100%. I can take 5 more items. We're going to do that twice. How many bandages do I have? None? Oh, we need bandies. 5 bandages. Let's take a first aid kit because that's got everything else. I got 2 more items. Insulin actually needs to be refrigerated. We'll take painkillers. But I'll take a set of insulin, even though it needs to be refrigerated. It'll last for a short time. Maybe we'll come across somebody that needs it. I mean, I'm not diabetic, but you never know. And if it goes bad, it goes bad. At least we have it if we need it for trade. Because a weekend or whatever, insulin's going to be a big thing. I mean, no matter how long it's been, insulin would be a big thing. You grab 4 vials of insulin and add them to your personal inventory. As you finish collecting gear, you step into the hallway and hear the pounding of footsteps from behind. Hey, we need help, the voice says, turning. You spot 2 teenagers, a boy and a girl, running toward you. She wears a pink hoodie and a leather backpack with camo pants and sandals. He wears a sports jersey and shorts and carries a lacrosse stick. She runs up out of breath and paces in front of you. Thank God I found you. You reply, keep your voice down. There might be zombies or bandits around here. I thought they were going to kill me, she said, or I'd get infected. You don't know how happy we are to find other living people, the young man says. I'm Michael, you say, and I'm glad to see other living beings too. I'm Brody, the young man said, and this is my twin sister, Madison. Madison Milford, she says. You know the Milfords who built everything in this town? And I'm Woody, Jamie's cousin strides through the hallway, buckling his belt. Oh my, Madison says, her lips pursed in displeasure. She covers her nose and whispers to Brody, he smells. Dude just got a shower. What do you mean he smells? Sorry. Back to the story. Brody frowns at his sister, extending his hand to shake. Good to meet you, sir. We should get somewhere safe, you say, scanning in all directions for signs of trouble. Your group moves to the stairwell and ascends to a third floor. Brody leads the way, his lacrosse stick raised like a samurai sword ready to strike. The day after the outbreak, we heard the school was abandoned. We left our house and came here figuring there were tons of supplies. Turns out it wasn't really abandoned. The principal, Mr. Buckley, told everyone to go home, but some kids stayed behind. Their parents weren't home or they were too scared to leave, so the school set up a shelter in the gym. Well, and this is the screwed up part, some of the kids were infected. So instead of getting them away from the other students or getting them help, Mr. Buckley locked them all inside. He killed them all. They all turned. You're all silent for a moment as Brody's words sink in. Hundreds of students sacrificed, all of them given shelter and then forced to become zombies due to panic or ignorance. You near the door to the stairwell and Brody peeks through the small glass window. Looks clear. He swings the door open and holds it to let everyone pass. You stare into a hallway flush in the pale glow of floodlights. One floor to go, and you reach Jamie. So what are you doing here? Madison asked, sticking close to your side. Saving my friend Jamie. The bandits chased him in here and trapped him on the roof. As your group turns a corner and you hear a short pop like a firecracker, Madison cries out and so you spot a flash of red. Something hits your face and you wipe your forehead. Blood. You stand frozen in the hallway on the third floor with blood on your hands and Madison crouched against a wall holding her wounded arm. At the other end of the narrow corridor, a submachine gun is pointed at you as a red-haired woman maneuvers around the broken classroom furniture scattered in her path. Run! Brody shouts, and then he scoops up Madison in his arms, kicks in a classroom door, and runs inside. More bullets whiz by your head, and you waste no time ducking into the classroom. You slam the door shut and back away as a flurry of gunshots sound off in the hallway. Woody swings his white rifle around and aims at the door. Brody lays Madison down on the teacher's desk, and she wails and holds her arm. The room has 4 rows of aligned chairs with built-in desks and several cabinets of supplies against the walls. On the far end, a door reads Mrs. Mulligan. A door reads Mrs. Mulligan. You sit on the first seat closest to the door and contemplate your next move. Brody rushes to the cabinet and grips one end. Let's block the door, he says. And you help slide the huge piece of furniture. The gunfire stops, but you hear hurried footsteps from the hallway. Open up, the red-haired woman yells, and the door rattles and pushes the cabinet back an inch. Why are you doing this, you psycho? Madison yells. Laughter comes to the door. I know you're here for Jamie. We heard him call one of you named Michael. If you come out, everyone else will live. You're dead, you yell. Your anger boils over and you start to shove the cabinet aside to free up the door. Brody touches your shoulder. If you let her in, we're all dead. You turn and punch the wall, which calms you down enough to walk away. You have 3 minutes to open the door. If I have to bust my way in, you're all dead. The red-haired woman yells. What are we going to do? Brody said, hands on his hips as he catches his breath. His face gaunt, his skin looks pale. Madison lets out a crying moan, and Brody walks over and checks her arm. The bullet grazed your upper arm. Oh, wait, the bullet grazed your upper arm. You'll be fine, he says. It hurts, and bites her bottom lip. Once we deal with Psycho Woman, we'll take care of your arm. You quickly consider all the possibilities for getting out of this mess. To save Woody and the twins, you could run through the teacher's office, make your way into the hallway, and draw the red-haired woman away from the classroom. Maybe you could lose her in the school and find equal ground to fight back. This puts you at considerable risk. You could also sneak out and attack her while she's focusing upon the door, although she might still break into the classroom and kill everyone. You might be able to convince Brody to distract the red-haired woman long enough for you to escape and find Jamie. He could help you deal with the bandit. Yeah, I think we need to take this woman out. She shot first and asked questions later. She needs to go. If the red-haired woman gets into the classroom, she'll kill everyone, but if you sneak around and surprise her, maybe you can end this conflict. See, that's the thing, guys, is, she's going to kill everybody anyway. So I got to take a chance. I got to take her out if I have the opportunity. Okay, I'm going to sneak around the side and take her out. You open the door to the teacher's office, careful not to make a sound, and rush through the small room to another door. This one leads to the back hallway, and you run until it meets back with the main corridor where the red-haired woman is standing, submachine gun raised at the classroom door. She fires a burst of bullets at the door. The loud popping sound echoes across the walls of the third floor. Past her through the stairwell from the second floor rushes a group of student zombies. You start your way down the hallway, and then it hits you. The zombies are drawn to the noise. She must have realized it too, because the zombies draw closer. As the zombies draw closer, the red-headed woman turns and runs in your direction, the only possible route. "Hey!" she yells, spinning her gun toward you. Bullets hit a blackboard a foot away from where you stand, and you run forward. A sign ahead reads Samuel Milford Auditorium, and you hope you can find a way to reach the fourth floor. Bullets tear through the wood-paneled wall over your head, and you run the length of the auditorium away from the crazed bandit woman and the horde of zombies chasing her. She seems less concerned with the living dead on her tail, even as the noise from her weapon draws in more and more. You climb the steps to the dark stage and slide behind the thick curtain. Bullets cut through the material, making holes that allow light to stream through, allowing you to make out shapes on the stage. In the middle is a series of ladders leading to a metal scaffolding. Past it stands a much narrower ladder that leads up to a control booth perched among the rafters. From the auditorium comes the sound of rapid gunfire and thick snarls of the zombie horde, all moving closer to the stage. You climb the far ladder and kick it away once you reach the control booth. A series of ropes lead from the panel to the scaffolding and a trap door below it, and another ladder extends into the rafters at the ceiling, which you presume leads to the fourth floor. Raised high above the stage, you watch as the red-haired woman runs behind the curtain, her face now flushed with fear as she fires back into the gang of the undead still following her. From the other side of the stage, a pack of new zombies rush out, now trapping her from all sides. C'est la vie. She scampers onto the scaffolding and climbs to the highest point, and the zombies run under her, leaping and swinging, although unable to reach. She stands on a shaking pole and clings to a rope for balance. She won't last for long, and even as you think it, she slips and struggles to stay on the scaffolding. You glance down at the control panel. One of the levers connects to the ropes for the trap door behind the stage. If you flip the switch, the zombies would likely fall through the trap door, allowing the red-headed woman to escape. On the other hand, you could leave right now and ascend the ladder to the fourth floor. This woman is of no concern to you, and Jamie still needs your help. Yet another thought crosses your mind. The other lever of the control panel leads to the scaffolding. Pulling it might release the metal holding her up, and she'd fall to her death. Revenge would be sweet. Look, I'm not going to kill her, but that doesn't mean I have to help her. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not going to purposely kill her, but she put herself in this position, so I'm going to leave her be and let the chips fall where they may. Okay, the red-haired woman's on her own. Whether the red-haired woman lives or dies means nothing to you. She's stuck on the scaffolding with no way down and can no longer endanger you, your companions, or Jamie. The red-haired woman looks up, and the simple gesture almost makes her lose her balance. "Please help me." The zombies crowd the platform directly beneath the scaffolding, swarming and pushing the loosely held structure to the point of collapse. You climb the ladder above you, careful not to make any sound and give away your position. She still has a gun, and death can come from one bullet. The red-haired woman screams as the scaffolding shakes, and she stares into the rafters. "I know you're there. I know you can hear me. I'm sorry for shooting at you. It was wrong and stupid. I haven't been thinking straight. It's the apocalypse making me crazy. I promise if you get me out of this, I'm out of this school and gone for good. You ignore her words and continue climbing. Damn you! Her voice low and venomous. You're leaving me to die. You're a murderer, just like me. Dylan and the others are going to kill you and all of your friends, and when you die, I'll see you in hell. You reach the top of the ladder and find a trapdoor in the ceiling leading into the darkness. Yo, man. C'est la vie. Besides, you didn't kill her. The zombies did. The trapdoor leads you into a pitch black room with the sounds of dripping water nearby and the smell of mildew filling your nose. As soon as your hands are free, you cover your face and search for a light switch. Instead, you find a doorknob and turn it. Light shines in through the sliver made by the open door. You stand in a closet, and from above, water drips through a crack in the ceiling. The smell of the mold nauseates you, and although it's mixed with a harsher chemical smell and hearing nothing besides the near silent water drops, you slip through the door into a classroom. Your eyes adjust to the pale light and you scan the room. Lab benches instead of desks and chairs fill the room. On several bench tops lie the remains of animal dissections. Numerous cabinets must hold supplies and several doors lead into other rooms. You try the closet side door and find it locked, and as you cross the room to try another, a shadow crosses the hallway door. A figure comes into view. A man with long whiskers stretched to the side and tattoos covering his gun arm. He carries a futuristic-looking submachine gun with a blunt barrel and a top-mounted magazine. You recognize the weapon, an FNP-90, or a variant, a Belgian-made Special Forces weapon. He swings the gun from side to side as if searching for something. You crouch behind the lab bench and listen as he steps through the hallway. He turns and peeks into your classroom, revealing a long healed scar on his face, and smoke trails into the air from a long cigarette. He walks away and he whistles it. As he walks away, he whistles a casual tune. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Where was I? I lost my place. All right. You crouch behind a lab bench and listen as he steps through the hallway. He turns and peeks into your classroom, revealing a long-healed scar on his face, and smoke trails into the air from a long cigarette. As he walks away, he whistles a casual tune. You rush to the front door, which you can now see is unlocked and ajar. Beside you sits an open cabinet of chemicals, Bunsen burners, and other lab gear. You stare through the window and spot the man, who you assume to be Dylan based on the bandit woman's statements, turning a corner at the end of the hall. You rush to follow him, listening for his whistle to know his distance. Reaching the end of the hall, you turn and gasp at the sight of a zombie swarm ahead. They stand behind a wall of glass in an observatory, all staring into an open hole in the ceiling. Jamie must be up there, which means you're facing two obstacles, a gun-toting bandit and a half-dozen living dead. Dylan stands just ahead, not more than 20 feet away, and stares through the glass at the group of zombies. They all seem oblivious to his presence and gaze at the hole in the ceiling. Low, idle moaning rumbles in their throats. He takes a cigarette from his mouth and grinds the tip on the glass. With the other hand, he takes a wrapped object from his pocket, unfolds the paper to reveal a sandwich, and takes a bite. Why isn't he killing the zombies? With that weapon, he could likely eliminate them in order to get Jamie. You need to end this. Attacking Dylan headlong will take care of the first obstacle, but he looks confident and fearless, and with that submachine gun by his side, this is a fight you might not win so easily. Even taking a wound could lead to death, since you can't exactly help in an emergency. You can't exactly seek help in an emergency room. With all of the science labs on this floor, you could rig some traps using all the chemicals, which could disable Dylan. Then it hits you. What if you use the zombies against Dylan? You could take out two birds with one stone, leaving the path clear to rescue Jamie. Of course, this might be the riskiest solution, as the riled up zombies could easily come for you. I'm gonna. I mean, let's have some fun. Let's tease the zombies. Why endanger yourself killing Dylan when zombies can do it for you? They seem fixated upon the hole in the ceiling, though Dylan is standing just a few feet away. If you draw their attention to Dylan, he'll have no escape. You search for something large enough to break the observatory window and spot a broken piece of cinder block under a pile of ripped textbooks. Lifting it, you step on the edge of the hallway and raise the cement rock over your shoulder. As you line up your throw, Dylan takes a step back and turns in your direction. Your gaze meets his. Surprised, he drops his sandwich and levels his submachine gun at your head. You heave the cinder block just as his gun goes off, and instead of hitting the glass, the rock smashes the side of his head. Dylan's face twists to the side as blood flies and splatters the window. The drop ceiling above you splits from his shot, raining down plaster. Dylan falls against the wall, then his gun fires, hitting the tall glass pane, which explodes into the observatory. The zombies roar in unison, and then they rush from the side room, some crashing through the door, some falling through the remaining glass window. Dylan drops back and kills the first zombie with a headshot. He tumbles over a broken desk and fires into the necks of his attackers, spinning the dead student away. The zombies keep coming, and he shoots them one by one, though the speed of their approach is faster than his reaction. The last one drops to a shot in the hip, and she scurries along the door, knocking Dylan over. You run along the hallway, half staring at Dylan, half staring at the observatory in case a straggler remains in the room. All the zombies are dead, save the one attacking Dylan, who's struggling to bring his weapon around for a shot. The zombie lunges and blood squirts over her shoulder as Dylan screams in pain. You raise your compound bow, ready to kill the zombie, Dylan, or both, but a flash of steel stops you. Dylan's free hand swings a knife and impales the zombie's head. He shoves her corpse to the side, and you lower your weapon at the sight of him. His stomach is torn open, and several fingers are missing on the gun hand. He has a large slice on the side of his head, and blood gurgles from a wound on his throat. You kick the submachine gun away and leave him there for now. Jamie's still on the roof, and you hope you're not too late. Ooh, dude got tore up. They what? Volunteers to read the female lines. Hey, look, man, I'm doing the best I can. What do you expect? You step past the broken glass of the observatory and rush to the hole in the ceiling. A hatch door lies open, and dried blood dots the wood edge. Jamie, you yell with no hesitation, despite the possibility of more zombies in the area. Michael, Jamie calls out from above, and then his head pokes through the hole. Damn, dude, took you long enough? A ladder slides through the ceiling, and Jamie climbs down from the roof. A cool night wind blows in with him, and you enjoy the rush of freezing air. As Jamie hops off the ladder, he turns and gives you the strongest embrace of your life. He laughs and swings you in his arms, and in that moment, you feel a powerful sense of relief. What happened? Where's Dylan? He asks, pulling you and glancing around the room. You now notice that his shirt is torn and blood coats his forearm, and a blood-soaked rag is wrapped around his hand. I'll tell you the details later, but Dylan's in the hallway. He's no longer a threat. What happened to your hand? Jamie ignores the question and marches out of the observatory, and you follow. You can't help but eye the blood dripping from his hand and the slight twitch to his walk. Given the last few days, you can't help but look for signs of infection. As you reach the end of the hallway, you spot Dylan struggling to rise, but he's still lying in a pool of his own blood, and all the color is drained from his face. Jamie stops a foot from the dying bandit, and tears in his eyes, mouth twitching. I told you this is how it would end, he says, staring down at Dylan. We were safe. We had everything. And the things you did, the people you hurt, what you wanted us to do, now look at you. Food for the dead. Jamie, we need to go, you say. You need to find Woody and the twins and escape this zombie-infested school and get back home. Go downstairs. I'll catch up in a minute. Something I have to do first. Jamie says he hands over Dylan and lifts, bends over and lifts Dylan's machine gun. Yeah, I mean, I'll listen to him and head downstairs. Why not? I mean, that's on them. That's between them. Don't be too long. You say and walk walk away from Jamie's. Don't be too long, and you say and walk away from Jamie toward the stairwell leading to the third floor. So many questions swim through your mind. How does Jamie know Dylan? What is the source of Jamie's injury? Is Jamie really going to kill the injured man? As you reach the next landing, you hear a gunshot and stop to wait for your friend. Moments later, Jamie joins you on the staircase. All right, I'm going to say this right now. Dude had fingers missing from his hand. He had his gut tore open. He had a neck wound. I mean, out of all those wounds, dude's going to turn. So really, a bullet was maybe merciful, Chapter 4. Let's see our stats right quick, guys. Let's see what we got going on here real quick. Chapter 4. This is Post-Apocalypse Day 2. All this happened in 2 days. 2 days. 87% physical health. Mental health is 89. Considering all this stuff, I'm kind of surprised. Fatigue is 59, so I'm not too tired and I'm not too stressed right now, which is not what would be happening. My blood pressure would be through the roof. And let's see here. So I'm calculated. I'm pragmatic. I am idealistic and straightforward. I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, I really can't argue with my. I mean, this is pretty much my moral compass. This is pretty much my moral compass. And I'm okay with a 55% humanity. So long as it's over 50%, I'm all right. And I feel like I'm a fairly moral person, I do. All in all. I mean, opportunity is opportunity, but I try to do the right thing most times, especially if I'm going to get caught. All right, so let's return to the game. All right. Chapter 4. You descend the stairs with Jamie by your side, his heavy footsteps resonating. Thanks again for coming to help. I know you've had a tough few days. I should have been to your place sooner. You saved my life, and I'll never forget it. He adjusts the bloody bandage covering his hand, which has stopped oozing. This thing hurts, but the bleeding stopped. My shoulder just has a scratch where the bullet grazed me. Looks pretty bad if it hadn't bled that much. Once we reach Woody and the others, Woody, wait, Moses is with you? Jamie puts his good hand on your shoulder. Yeah, he got to my house earlier today and came to help find you. We were on the third floor together when some red-headed woman shot at us. Rosie shot at you? Damn. Glad you're okay. She hasn't been in her right mind since this whole outbreak started. So what happened? You described to Jamie how she shot at you. Okay, riled up a pack of zombies and chased you into the auditorium. What happened then? Is she still alive? Jamie reaches for the stairwell door and pauses to wait for you to answer her. I just want to tell him that zombies killed her. I don't want to tell her that I killed her. I let zombies kill her. And I don't want to lie to him and tell him that I tried to stop him. Because I didn't. I don't know. I left her just to come find you. That's better. Yeah, that works. Jamie makes a pained expression. I hope she's okay. She's a troubled woman and doesn't deserve the life that she was leading. With Dylan out of the picture, I hope she can be better. Oops. Yeah, he opens the door and steps into the sterile white third floor hallway and now littered with trash. The warm air carries the stench of the dead, and you step over the corpse of a teenage student, his body killed halfway into the infection's transformation. As you walk past the auditorium toward the teacher's lounge, you hurry to find Woody and the rest of your companions. And by the way, guys, if I step over dialogue, it's just because when you guys if you guys get this, you'll have some things to explore. Just so you know, that was that decision there. And by the way, before we end this, I will be giving away some copies of this game in my Discord. So join my Discord, and we will get you. And you can go to the. Hang on a second. Bear with me. You can go to the giveaway channel in my Discord. Discord is in the description of this video. So you can go ahead and just go into the link, go to the giveaway, and you just put your just say hello, put your name in there, and you'll be able to have a chance to get a copy of this game. So you hurry along the third floor in the dim light of the hallway, and the moans and growls of the infected echo through the high school. The teacher's lounge lies ahead as you approach, and you hear arguing from inside. He said he'd be back, and we're waiting for him as long as it takes, Madison says as you push against the door. It moves an inch and bumps the furniture still stacking to stop intruders. Open up, it's me and Jamie, you say and step back. Jamie leans his shoulder into the surface of the door, which shifts a few more inches. Hold your horses, Woody says through the wall, and from the other side, the sound of moving furniture can be heard scraping the linoleum floor. Once the door is cleared, it swings open and you enter. Madison sits on a lounge chair with her lightly injured arm perched on a shelf, while Brody stands near a tall filing cabinet he must have just moved from the door. Whoa, Madison says as she lifts her eyes to Jamie. What are you like 6'10"? Brody says, raises his hand over his head to match Jamie's height. You introduce everyone by name, ending with your tall friend. Everyone, this is Jamie, Woody says, and strides up next to his cousin, stone-faced. Hey there, Woody. How you doing? Fair and middling, Woody says as he pats Jamie high on his firm chest. Time for us to go to skedaddle. That round of zombies weren't the last, and I found these. Pops a huge ring of keys out of his pocket and tosses them to you. Looks like those look like Mr. Flaherty's, the maintenance man. We can take that old maintenance elevator the teachers use. It leads to the back of the parking lot. Let's go. I've been in this school for too long. Any place open on the way home still selling cheeseburgers? Oh, wait, that was Jamie. Oh, well. Somehow you all fit into the small cage-like metal elevator with the sliding chain doors. At first, the old copper key doesn't fit the control box, but with a jiggle of the lock, the lock turns and the elevator starts with a jolt. An oil smell permeates the air, and the box descends through the bowels of the school. You hear the trilling melody of the infected. Static buzzes from the overhead light, and some glob of red liquid drips from the ceiling. Glancing down, you see through broken areas on the elevator floor and the dark shaft of open space below. You place your hands on the metal walls and push out, somehow hoping it helps. Reaching the ground floor, the gate opens to a dark, dank corridor leading through a service area where the heaters and pipes and electrical generators are housed and now will be forced to withstand the test of time alone and unmaintained. Walking past the large HVAC unit, your eye catches a supply shelf with a number of tools and items for the taking. So we can take 6 items. I already grabbed a bunch of duct tape. Let's see, crafting tools. Let's grab, I think my flashlight's gone, isn't it? No, I have one. I have flashlight. Let's go hammer. Let's go gas can. Let's go flare. And let's go gunpowder, 110. You add the gunpowder to your personal inventory. You reach the end of the corridor and use the keys to pop open rusty metal doors that creak as they swing. Cool spring air blows in the early evening. You walk up a steady incline to a loading dock enclosed in a tall cement wall, the ground splattered with oil and skid marks. An old supply truck partially blocks the tall metal gate, its driver door wide open and broken glass on the seat. The smell of alcohol hits you in the face. Jamie moves to the gate and slides it open, the metal rattling as it moves. A motor's low rumble drifts across the back parking lot. The infected call from above, and their upper torsos hanging from cracked windows a few stories high, and a body falls from the fourth floor, hits the wall, and rebounds into the dock. Like a popped water balloon, the carcass splatters and spurts liquid in a red sheet on the ground. Should we head back to the coop, or should we take this truck? Woody says. Why aren't we taking multiple cars? There's a lot. There's a lot full. Madison says with a scowl. We can even get a BMW or a Lexus in the teacher's lot. We can take one of the swim team's vans, Brody said. They're super new and decked out, real comfortable. You consider your choices. A roar of a motor grows louder, and through the gate's opening, you see a military jeep pull up. The bandit from the front of the school drives the vehicle, which screeches to a halt just at the gate. Jamie, he says in a raised voice, and stands in his seat, hands raised and weaponless. This is over now, driver, Jamie says, submachine gun raised at the man. Dylan is gone, and we don't have to fight. He's gone? Driver's shoulders drop, and he slouches and sits on top of the driver's seat. Bit by the infected, man. There was no saving him. Jamie takes a few steps forward and places the submachine gun on the side of the Jeep. I know what he meant to you, man. I really do. But he wasn't treating you right. He wasn't treating any of us right. The things he did to people, robbing and hurting them, that's not you. He was in your head. Shut up, Jamie. You don't know. He was our friend and looked out for us. Was he looking out for me when he attacked me? Chased me into the school? Hunted me like a dog? Jamie touches driver's arm and he flinches. Jamie holds the man's arm in a gentle grip. I know how you feel. I thought he was my friend too, but he had a darkness in him. The outbreak woke it up. He changed real fast, and those things he made you do were wrong. You know that, right? Driver looked down and face flushed and morose. I'm sorry, Jamie. I'm sorry. It all happened so fast. The lockdown, the outbreak, leaving home. I never had a chance to stop and think. It's okay. I forgive you. Jamie pats driver's hand. I'm sorry to you, driver says to you. To me. As driver looks on, you consider how to reply. I mean, look, they had Jamie up on a roof, and he's okay with it, so I guess I'm all right with it. I guess I'll have to be. If you're truly sorry, you need to be a better person from now on. Teaching moment. Driver nods at your words. I will. My mind was twisted, and I know the stress of the outbreak has pushed me too far. I won't lapse into that dark place again. Look, I hate to break up this therapy session, but we need to boogie on out of here, Woody says, and just as he speaks, the sound of the infected in the area chime in with howls. Woody's right, Jamie says. Should we take a few vehicles? We have me, you, driver, Woody, and the twins. Right, we're going to need to consider our options. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to have to consider our options for bringing everybody with us. I'm not going to leave anybody behind. Not. We got a group now, so may as well keep it that way. And I've got enough food. Let's see, what is that? That's 5 people, and I've got like 35 food. That's like 6 days. No, that's not true. That's only 2 days worth of food. Unless we eat once a day. We eat once a day. I've got almost a week's worth of food for these people. All right, but I've got a lot of hands to go out and scavenge, so that helps. Your words are met with looks of surprise. Jamie squeezes your shoulder and walks past you toward the Jeep. So we're coming with y'all? Madison says with her face lit up with happiness. I really appreciate it. We don't have anywhere else to go, and the school's full of zombies. My home's full of zombies, and besides Brody, my family's gone. I don't know. I know I haven't been helpful so far, but I haven't had time to show you how I can contribute, so thank you. No, you're welcome, Madison. Again, the infected call out, and everyone turns to the source of the howls on the outer edge of the parking lot. Hey, Michael. Jamie waves you over. You join him at the exit of the loading dock. The two of you peer across the vast parking lot of options. With the night set in, darkness creeps from the corners of the lot, held back by tall pole lights still working in the first few days of the apocalypse. A moving body creeps along a row of student cars, its form leaning as it shambles and drags one crooked leg. One sec. Follow me. Jamie leads you to a few cars in the lot and steps over a yellow Escalade. The fenders are torn off. The driver's side door is caved in, and bullet holes fill the back of the car. I had to rush to get away from Dylan and his crew, or I would have had time to grab more stuff. He pops the back hatch and points you to a garbage bag filled with canned food and bottled water. Ask and you shall receive. Oh, thanks so much, Jamie. This is great. Even when you were trying to survive, you still thought of me. You each take a pile of supplies and carry them to the loading dock with the rest of the group still waits. All right. We really need to get our butts in motion, Woody says, kicks an oversized tire of the supply truck. He stares at it with admiration. Could hold all of us and lots of supplies. Mrs. Chandler's Lexus is in the teacher's lot right over there, she says, and motions an area beyond the loading dock wall. The swim team van will fit all of us and has lots of room, and it makes better turns in the big truck. Jamie steps up to the edge of the parking lot and stares at the vast array of abandoned vehicles as if someone handed him the master key to a used car lot. Let's figure out how we're going to get back to your place, Michael. We have too many choices, but every decision we make feels like a big one. Like life or death. You've never seen Jamie this frazzled, but you've never been in this dire of a situation. Before you pick a vehicle, you decide to... Well, I mean... Am I going to lead these people? I guess I should probably lead these people, huh? You know what? I'll just assign a vehicle to everybody. That's fine. Are we leaving soon? Madison said as she peeks past the dock gates, concern painted on her face. Jamie takes a deep breath and reaches into his pocket and pulls out a pouch of gummy candies. The supply truck or the passenger van makes the most sense. We got more people to think about. Oh wait, that's me. A supply truck or passenger van makes most sense. We got more people to think about now, and we should take the military jeep most definitely. Driver can take it from here, or can take it for us. What do you think, Michael? Oh, that was Jamie. Oh well. I'm not gonna. Yeah, we need more than one vehicle in case one breaks down. Is there not an option to pick more than one? I mean, it says a few of us can fit in the Jeep, and I'll pick vehicles for everyone else. I don't care about the Lexus. That's a gas guzzler. Yeah, okay, we'll do the Jeep. And Jamie nods, good idea. If there's trouble, we can jump on the 50 cal. Oh, that's right. There was a 50 caliber machine gun on the back of that thing. What about the rest of the group? Yeah, everybody else can take a vehicle of their choice. That's fine. If somebody they can drive what they like. The group walks out of the loading dock and parked half in a flower bed, half in a handicapped parking spot is a long gray passenger van with the school's logo on the side doors. Circling to the back of the van, Woody pokes his head through the back window and looks inside. He flashes an A-OK with his fingers to show it's all clear. Keys are always in the sun visor, Brody said as he pops the driver's side door. He finds the keys just where he suspected some. Your bandit Jeep sits where you left it, and you climb inside. You sit in the passenger seat of the Jeep, but turn your body enough to see driver at the wheel. The motor rumbles as it starts, and your motorcade heads out of Chipper Ridge High School's parking lot. A few wandering zombies give chase, but soon fade into the distance. The bandit Jeep shakes as it rolls over something hard on the road, and everything rattles on board. With Dylan gone and Jamie alive, everything is so jumbled in my head, driver says. So much regret, but still so much anger. How are you dealing with it all? We saw so many kids infected. How are you dealing with what you saw? Yeah, I don't have time to worry about what I'm feeling when I'm worrying about everybody else. That's reasonable given the situation, driver. Driver puts on his turn signal, even though you look around and there's only our group's bandit Jeep. The infected are a grave concern, and the numbers grow. Those of us who remain alive will struggle, and that struggle will take shape and mold them into hard and covetous survivors. Without a government and a structure to maintain the moral fabric, all of us will descend. That's what I fear. I've been there. It's easy to go back. As you reach the halfway point to your house, you spot a trail of thick black smoke rising in the air from the group of homes near where you live. A thick column of gray pours up from a single area, likely the source of the fire. Nearing your neighborhood, you move in the dark of night as roadside signs are out and a few houses have porch lights turned on. All is eerily silent except for the errant rumble of a military vehicle or a passing plane. Even the birds and crickets are hiding. As you drive the long road, you spot more infected than before, wandering the fields of soy and corn, staggering on dirt paths, crawling on asphalt of a parking lot. If you drive close, they chase your bandit Jeep only to give up when other movement or loud sounds call their attention. All stores are closed. Even the farmer's market is an empty lot. This doesn't feel like stodgy farms, but a leftover shell of a town left in the aftermath of war. This doesn't feel like home. As you reach an intersection, you spot movement on the steps of St. Gabriel's Methodist Church. An older man in a reverend's garb holds a pitchfork up as you stop. He waves you to keep going, and there's an aggression in his expression and stance. Before you can say a word or make a move, he rushes inside the tall doors of the church and slams them shut. With the strange occurrence over, you continue on your way home. You reach a strip mall outside Thelma's convenience store. It's dark and boarded with not a single soul outside, no customers waiting to go inside or staff directing traffic to a nearby parking lot. As you move closer, you spot a sign. Thelma is closed until further notice. Thank the looters and thieves when you run out of food. May the righteous live and the rest burn in hell. In the middle of the road sits a trio of cars lined up lengthwise from bumper to bumper, blocking any travel past them. You can barely make out other details through the darkness, but at least there's at least a half a dozen, all armed, pacing and watching. A howl cuts through the air, and in the distance, farther down the road, comes a military truck. The curfew is still in effect. Return to your homes. The voice comes from a loudspeaker attached to a large vehicle that comes around the corner of Walnut Avenue. Before it gets any closer, your bandit Jeep pulls away for the last leg of your trip. Nearer to your house, you watch as a blanket of smoke billows over houses and acrid scent of burning wood and metal spreads with it. So many homes in the area are boarded or abandoned, and your eyes fall across them one by one, empty and vacant, like hollowed skulls left to wither. As you round your last turn toward your house, you see flames shooting up from the field and back. Clouds of white and gray plume and turn black against the sky. As soon as your bandit Jeep stops at the edge of the driveway, everyone piles out of the vehicles and rushes toward your field. You all see the source of the fire, a downed news helicopter. Your back porch smolders as flames arise from the back kitchen. What? As you approach, you spot a few familiar faces, although they're covered in ash. Parker and Kelly Klein watch on from a distance and pack a minivan with suitcases. Further down near your neighbor Vince's house, Rachel packs a camping trailer with suitcases and boxes. Besides her, a young, thin, pale, brown-haired woman, a tall, lean, olive-skinned man with scruffy beard, and a dark-skinned man carry out supplies from the house to the camper. As you watch, the olive-skinned man stops and waves, but Rachel says something to him and he goes back to work. I'll go around and check the other side with Woody, Jamie says as he heads off. Brody, Madison, you two stay back near the bandit jeep. You circle the house to see how far the fire has reached and to determine how far the fire has spread. As you start toward the front door, you hear your name called over the crackle of the fire and turn to see Parker and Kelly Klein walking over. She walks up with Parker. Helicopter was flying overhead for a while, and all of a sudden it spun out of control and plummeted to your field, she said, and stops by your side. I tried to go in your house, Michael, but I couldn't stand the smoke. It spread too fast, and it's only at your kitchen. I even tried 911, but got nada. We don't know what to do. Rachel and her people have tried to put it out, but Parker cuts himself off and turns away from the sight of the flames. Looking at the house, you see flakes of ash now rain down as high up as a gust of air riles up and okay. Looking at the house, you see flakes of ash now rain down from high up as a gust of air riles up the burning ashes and carries them over the field and road, and with it the smell of charred wood like a raging campfire. The glow of red-orange lights the dark night, and over the hiss of the fire comes moans of the infected like a song in the background. Their forms show like shadows shambling in the distance, lost souls drawn to the light. That was hard reading. They're all over, a horde of them, Jamie said. We have 10 minutes tops, so we can hold them off, but we need to pack up and go. Jamie just put the future in context. Pack up and go. Is that the next phase of survival? Where will you go? How will you find food and supplies? Are all the people coming with you? And with the fire spreading across the back of your house, you have to make a decision. You could run in the front of the house and gather your gear and supplies. Otherwise, it may be best to hold off the zombies and have your companions gather up everything and pack vehicles to leave the area. And then there's Rachel and her team. Maybe you should help them pack up and find out her plan for survival. All right. Let's see. Take charge. Order everyone to gather supplies. Rush to recover any supplies before they burn. Hold off the zombies to give people time to gather supplies. Help Rachel and her crew. Ask Jamie to take charge and tell everyone what to do. No. Let's go ahead and let's order everybody to gather supplies and hold off zombies as the rest packs up. This may be the most risk-filled and difficult ordeal in the past few days, and you're leaving nothing up to debate nor another person's decision. You step atop a tree stump and call out to all in earshot. Listen up! It's time to move on and find a safe area. If we move fast and work together, we can make it out of here before the infected come and anyone gets hurt. Driver and Jamie will hold off the infected while Jamie on the Jeep's machine gun. Woody will head over to the inside the house and gather supplies. Madison and Brody, you'll pack the vehicles. Everyone knows their job, knows what's at stake. Let's go. After giving your orders, you decide to help Rachel and her crew pack up their camper. Rachel and her group can use your help, and in the process, you can learn how she hopes to survive. I'm going to go talk to that woman over there, Rachel. You announce to the group. Jamie steps in the direction of the incoming infected. Sounds good. I can keep the zombies away while you talk to her. Rachel provided herself resourceful and offered to work with you to survive the outbreak, and this will be an opportunity to learn more about her. You cross the wide road to the front of Vince's house. As you step close to the camping trailer, the olive-skinned man who waved before lays a cardboard box marked provisions and greets you. Hello, you must be Michael. Rachel told us about you. I'm Nathan Moosbacher. He's tall and lean with a fuzzy beard and a constant smile. The other man pokes his head around the corner of the trailer. You are too upbeat for this, Nathan. A neighborhood's on fire, infected, riled up, and my man's acting like it's a nightclub. He has a British accent heavier than Rachel's, which I'm not going to be doing. And he stands from the camper. You get a better look at him. He's taller than Nathan, with tribal tattoos over his arms that continue up the short sleeves of his shirt, and he has a nasty scar along his left cheek. My friend from Kingston is Benjamin, Nathan says with a laugh. Okay. Benjamin frowns and shakes his head. I said I lived in Kingston upon the Hull, or just Hull, and I was born in London. I'm as American as you now. Rachel and the other woman steps out of Vince's house, each carrying large metal suitcases. They slide them into the side of the trailer and then join their friends at the back with you. So you made it home. Glad to see it. I feared something had happened, but had faith in your abilities. Have you met Nathan and the doctor Benjamin? This shy temptress is Bailey. Okay. The other woman pushes aside a few locks of her long brown hair to show her pale skin and dark blue eyes like ocean waters at night. She has a fairly short nose, which is suitable for her and for her face, with thin lips that almost disappear until she smiles. The four of you continue packing the trailer. Benjamin forces a trunk into the back. Nathan ties down a canvas window poking out. Rachel finds room for her two metal suitcases, and Bailey walks back to Vince's open front door. As they work, you ask Rachel to her plan to survive the rest of the outbreak. That's why I came over here. You walk over to Rachel, who pushes aside the two rolled sleeping bags to make room for her steel cases. This happened far too soon, she said, looks over at your house. I thought we'd be fine here for at least another day or so with the military rounding up the infected. But it's all falling fast. Electricity went down an hour ago, water stopped running, and the virus is spreading too fast. It's time to move on. Rachel lifts her feet and kicks the suitcase in frustration. Damn it! This is all going to hell. If I had a few more days, I could get more supplies. As it stands, we have maybe a week's worth of food. As Rachel continues to pack, you ask, what's your plan for surviving? Where are you going? Rachel leans against the side of the camper and takes a sip from her water bottle. Our best option is to leave nightfall and head for the mountains. My research suggests that the Rockies are nearly uninhabited, though some areas are fit for living. We can go there, set up camp, avoid the infected until the virus has been eradicated, or let's hope it gets eradicated. You said our best option. Does that mean all of us? Like we're all going together? The infected outnumber us by far, and the living pose an equal or greater threat. We must work together. We need a variety of people to handle all of our needs, from security to scavenging and maintaining our campsite. Going it alone at this stage is certain death. A long banshee-like shriek wails through the side field of the neighbor's house and outruns a ghoulish figure, an infected teenage boy with severe wounds in his torso and arms. A portion of flesh had been torn off his chest plate, and his organs pulse and gyrate in the chasm. Before you can react, Rachel yanks a pistol from under her shirt where the holster hangs from her belt. She rotates and fires, emptying the magazine into the zombie boy's head. Shut up! Rachel yells at the fallen zombie. And the repeated clicks of the hammer sound from the empty gun. Ben walks over and touches her arm, and she lowers the gun. Okay, everybody, let's finish packing and go, Nathan says. I'm going to go check on the others and see if they're ready to go too, you say to Rachel's group. You start to go back toward your house, catching sight of the ever-growing mushroom cloud above it. Approaching your group, you spot movement from the back of the vintage sedan, a two-tone red and tan classic Chevy with the top down. In the front seat, an older woman with gray hair sits in the passenger seat, but from the back of the car comes a young man in his late 20s or early 30s. He wears a gray muscle shirt and tight-fitting black jeans and cowboy boots. His hair swept back like a 50s rocker, and a thin gold chain hangs from his neck. Is that your house there, the one on fire? Any way I can help? Mind your manners, boy, and introduce us, the woman snaps. The man walks up to you and extends his hand. He has bright green eyes and the color of ivy, and speaks with a hint of an Irish accent. Name's Riley. That beautiful lady is my ma, Nora. We were going by and we saw the place on fire, Nora says. I used to live around here on Aspen Street in a house with a willow willow tree in the front. You remember the house. It belonged to an old man named Russell, a rumored criminal. Nora continues. Now, I know this ain't none of my business, but we had to stop to see if anyone was inside that needed help. Thankfully, no one was. From down the road comes a furious howl of the infected and the clatter of gunfire. Someone shouts for help, and you turn away from the two strangers and hasten back to your group. You make it back to the front of the house, and Brody and Madison Woody have been joined by Kelly and Parker, who all now pack up multiple vehicles, including a Volkswagen minibus. It has rounded edges and numerous windows, all blocked from the inside by thick blankets, except for the windshield and two front side windows. Next to Parker is a stranger, but not a total stranger. You saw him yesterday chased by the infected right outside your house. He has deep, rich brown skin tone and a larger head than should fit on his narrow, bony frame. A thick gold chain hangs from his neck with the letters Dante. Isn't that guy the guy I saved from the zombies that I shot through the window? He looks cleaned up and wears denim pants with black sneakers and a white mesh shirt. When he notices you walking over, he lays his bag down, clasps the dust off his hands, and extends a hand. I should have done this yesterday, he said in a humble tone. I was hurt and didn't want you to see me like that. You feel me? Anyway, I came back and saw the smoke. Least I can do is help. Looks like you got a good crew forming. You got a spot for me, I'll take it. Oh, and my name's Dante. Parker slides beside you and lifts sunglasses off his eyes. Wait, are you Dante Webb? From Taken Down by Dante? Dante takes a step back, grits his teeth through a smile, and holds his chain up. Down on the ground. This ain't no arrest. Dante and Parker speak the next line together. This is a hunt. I guess he's a musician. I love your show. I never thought about. He's a bounty hunter. I see. All right, it's like dog. Okay, I get it. I love your show. I never thought a show about bounty hunting would be so interesting. I binged all 12 episodes a few weekends ago. Parker says his expression, the definitive of starstruck. He turns toward you, covers his mouth, and whispers, "He can take me down He can take me down any day." Okay. Season 2 should be out soon, or at least it would have been if not for this. Is Mama Death Row as cool as she seems on the show? She's badass. Dante looks to the side and rubs the back of his neck. Yeah, but she died. Damn virus. Parker sighs and furrows his brow. I'm so sorry. Yeah, me too. She was hard until the end. Took out 2 Z's before a third got her. I was fighting off a pair myself. It wasn't fast enough. He bites a corner of his mouth. Parker walks past him and pats his shoulders on the way to the minibus. So can I join your crew? Yeah. I mean, he's a celebrity. Why not? I guess. That might come in handy, actually. Yeah, we'd be glad to have you. Dante smiles and slaps you on the shoulder. Cool. I'll help you pack up so we can roll. Sorry about your house. He walks to the minibus and rejoins the others who are finishing packing the vehicle. Okay. The bandit jeep rolls back around the corner and speeds to a stop at the... Okay, hang on. Let me start that again. The bandit jeep rolls back around the corner and speeds to a stop at the minibus. Jamie hops out and walks up to you. With him is another familiar figure. He looks better than he did before, and though he still wears the tan and white camouflage of the National Guard, he's alert with a bounce to his step. His skin isn't waxy, but is showing a healthier hue, and he carries an M4 carbine assault rifle. He strides closer, and you see he's missing his name tag that once read PFC Lopez. Oh yeah, that's that dude that fell onto the ground in front of the house. How you doing? He says in a low, gravelly voice. This is a popular spot, but it looks like a block party's forming. Jamie glances from the soldier back to you. He says he knows you. He helped take out some of the infected. Oh, he helped take out some of the infected. A lot, actually. Looks like we got 5 more minutes before a gazillion infected march around the corner and tear us all to confetti. I'm checking on everybody so we can go. Jamie heads toward the rest of the group. Glad to see you're okay, you say. He smirks and raises his eyebrows. My unit had evil intentions for me, but they forgot I'm too stubborn to die. By the way, we never formally met. I'm Christian Lopez. It's good to see a bunch of civilians working together. He has brown hair and stands a solid 6 feet tall. My name's Michael Gray. Good to meet you, Christian. I prefer being called Lopez. I got used to it. Jamie says there's a place. That's your place on fire. I'm real sorry. About yesterday, I found out my sergeant and the rest of my unit were stealing supplies and preparing to go AWOL. I spoke up and we're going to tell my our CO, and she had the others attack me. I got away and passed your house. Anyway, after they got me again, my energy returned and I dealt with them. Once we're at a safer place, I can tell you all the details that you want, if you want to hear. So you're going with us? Yeah, Jamie said I can go. Hope that's okay. A large crack resounds through the street and a cloud of dust flies out from your house as the roof collapses. Flames now shoot out from the second floor window. Grit and debris fall on the pavement. You watch as the walls turn black and flake off as cinder and the areas of brick darken and meld. You'll never live here again, but safer places exist elsewhere, away from the infected, in places more livable with the resources you'll need to survive. From around the corner of the road comes the first of the infected racing ahead of the pack at the roaring flames. Once they draw close to your house, their attention will turn to the living, you and your companions. You have no choice but to leave, and as you observe the flurry of movement outside of your home, you know everyone here shares the same thought. You may come from different walks of life, have competing philosophies, or even be enemies. For now, all of you are in the path of a zombie horde, and all of you will be treated the same. You rush beside the bandit jeep and take one last look at your burning home. Somehow you knew it would end this way. It's poetic that a place that you had as a refuge will become home to no one ever again. The last 2 days have been a final exam and nightfall for the staging ground. It's time to move on and seek a new place to call your own. Several shadows grow by your side and you spot Rachel walking towards you with her group. They stop a few paces behind and talk with Kelly, Parker, and the twins. Looks like the neighborhood will be lost soon. We're all moving on. My thought is to follow your group out for mutual protection. Once we find a place to camp to relocate, we too can discuss whether or not joining our groups is the best option for everyone. How does that sound? Sounds great, Rachel. Gunfire cries out from the road, and a quick glance finds the herd of infected drawing closer. They push through the wide street, flowing around trees and parked cars, through low fences and bushes. They move with no resistance, drawn to the fire, destroying all in their path. Kill any ahead of the pack. Okay, kill any ahead of the pack running at us, Jamie yells at your companions as he rushes beside your bandit jeep. Time to move. We're packed in as best we can be. We have a few vehicles going so we can carry everything, and we have options. Let's stay tight. We'll stop once we cross out of nightfall and figure out where to go. Oh my God. My eyeballs. Jamie looks down at the road and you follow his gaze to the horde of infected drawing near, now only a few hundred yards away. The pop of gunfire mixes with the roars of starting motors and growls of the unliving. Jamie extends his hand and the two of you shake as friends do, and in that moment you know he's nervous about the imminent future. Okay, later, he says, and before you can reply, he strides toward the front of the group. You lead your group of vehicles away from the fire and the horde, and with only a single quick glance at your house for likely the last time. With a thunderous clap, the part of the burning roof collapses and pushes out a section of the front wall, which crashes into a few infected. A plume of smoke hides the undead from sight, and moments later they step through the gray ash like battlefield wounded, plodding, moaning, swaying. The road turns ahead, and your caravan extends single file with no real destination in mind. Nightfall has been lost. The outbreak is over, and in its wake is apocalypse. You have escaped for now, left the life you've led behind, and can only look forward to finding a new safe haven, a new place to call home. Your exodus from the zombies has begun. And that, ladies and gentlemen, as difficult as it was for me to read, is the end of part 1. Thank you for your tolerance, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said before, the tracksuit guy, yeah, it sounds like him. Yeah, that was a tracksuit guy. Dante? Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, guys, like I said, in the description is the link to my Discord. And then in my Discord, there is a channel, text channel called Giveaway. You can say hello in general to some people, and then jump over to the giveaway and put your name in there if you'd like a copy of this game. I only have a few copies, but I'm willing to give them away to whoever would like them. First come, first serve. Or if there's too many, I actually know. I'm going to give it a few hours, and if there's too many, we'll do a drawing, and I'll draw the names out of a hat. Let's do it that way. That's better, because it gives everybody a chance to pop in, and then I will put giveaway as ended when it's over, when I've picked the names. So if you see that, then you'll know that it's over. So anyway, guys, thanks for coming in. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, just do that right now. As I always say, I am my usual me, be your usual you, and we'll see you in the next thing, which is going to be, I'm going to go live again, but I am going to take a break. More videos. Would you like me to take my shirt off, Nikki, so you can whip me harder? Would you like that? Oh, thanks for guys. If you haven't hit that like button, please do. It helps the algorithm. This was fun. This was good. This was fun. And thanks, Jim, for sponsoring these videos. I appreciate it, man. And we will talk to you guys on the flip. Have a good day. I'll be back.